ending the stream and restarting it, which would, not make a lot of sense. Fuck it, I'll just keep the name of the stream going. All right.
I may have been asleep. I'm gonna be 100% honest.
Oh God, you're massive. What the fuck? Okay, hold on. Also, Boobs, I completely forgot you could just hop into the stream channel because you're a mod.
You mean to get Psyche?
Yeah. Drag Psyche down here.
Oh.
Do you want me to throw Rack in here too? Does Rack want to make fun of Bricky's video?
I mean, has he beaten Space Marine
He
yet?
has said that he purely wants to just sit in the background and go, yep.
Yep.
You know what? That's acceptable. That's acceptable. As long as
Both.
What?
Hey, all right, Rack. Just so you know, you are live right now, so Twitch TOS breaking statements are verboten.
You're telling me that?
Yeah. Look.
Because you've never been
You should
here
be
before.
telling BB that.
Look. Boobs knows to control himself, but I realize you're you're gonna be a little better about it, but all the same.
I have streamed before, so I tried to take it seriously.
Hey,
Not that I got anybody.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, look who's in your recommended channels while I have you pulled up on Twitch.
Who?
If you can look at Texture Voice.
Hold on.
If
Who?
Oh Hold up. I forgot my D&D.
Donald Trump, 45th president of the United States.
Hell yeah.
What the?
Anyway, I don't fucking know.
Man, I was. Oh, hey, hon, how you doing?
Hey, honey.
All I see is this new type looking guy.
I didn't expect to see that name on Twitch.
Man, we are.
What is it?
We are in the definition of interesting times. All right. So here's so here's how I'm gonna set this up, right? So I'm gonna open the video, set up the media share, and I'm going to share it into Discord so we can all watch synced up, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, could you do it that way so we could still watch it and not be delayed?
Yes. Oh, hold on.
I forgot my Fugi avatar was my D&D shit.
That's cool.
I just swapped it back.
Oh god, it's heavy. From Team Fortress 2.
You
All
got
right.
a problem with that?
Yeah, nothing wrong with Heavy. He just spends a lot of money shooting his gun. All right.
$400,000.
All right.
Be kind. You don't earn.
All right. This is gonna be painful to experience. All right. One moment, everyone. Let me just make sure. Oh, okay, that's just fucking Bricky's fucking advertisement shit. I'm gonna skip that bit just so he doesn't get any revenue from people watching this. Yeah, no, Bricky is pretty obnoxious most of the time, honestly. All right,
I'm pretty sure he gets the money
26
due to
views
the
for this
fact that that it's in the video, or are you talking like one of the ads that?
It's his
Smash
Gamer
Links for them
Sub
to-
sponsorship. It's the little go use the code. Anyway, instead of using that gay code, use code Kirsch.
Hey, look, listen, we like the Fox around here, okay?
I can't tell if this is being petty or just simping.
It's both. For boobs, it's both.
Actually, it's neither. It's you get 10% off your order at Gamer Subs, and you support Kirsche.
All right,
win-win.
All right, the video was up in the share thing on
right.
the Discord. I will begin setting up the media share here.
I'm surprised you didn't just download it so you didn't have to worry about getting ads.
I've got ad block.
You think Bo would think that far ahead?
Does that work still? I thought they
Yeah,
made it not work anymore.
it still works.
Oh, okay. Oh, they found. Okay, cool.
This should be it.
I don't get ads because I pay for YouTube like a fucking little bitch.
Yeah, boobs. Why do you do that? What's wrong with you?
Unironically, it's so I
why
can
you
use
get
the
money trouble.
ad-free features on my TV and phone.
Okay, but all right. Here's the thing. I've got
He's
this.
from the consumer generation, honey. You know, it's just
No,
how it is.
no, Ash. Ash, like,
Bro unironically pays for YouTube to use on his phone. He doesn't even know what new pipe is. What a loser.
No. Let me explain this. It's just the convenience of I can download videos, watch them at work, and pretend I'm working.
All right, so for those who are currently watching and don't know what we're doing, so a little background: Bricky, a figure within the Warhammer community, released a review video for the recently released game Space Marine 2. It is not good. It is not a good review. It is awful, and we're going to be watching it and ripping it apart bit by bit over the next while. So that's what we're doing. All right, is everybody plugged in? Okay, you are. All right, here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 0. Let's go.
Space Marine 2 is one of the most anticipated games of the year for a large number of people around me. Not only is this because I make Warhammer content and collect little model toys that make the pew-pew noises and roll ones when I need sixes, but also because it is one of the most high-profile sequels of the last few years I've seen. Space Marine 1 is a third-person action game from 2011. The humorous part of Space Marine is that it's genuinely a rather unremarkable title to the majority of people. It's a relatively generic third-person shooter / melee hybrid game that took a little over 5 hours to beat and had all of the hallmarks of a military shooter of that era. Mediocre.
Oh, hold on. Actually, I just realized. Yeah, we should turn subtitles on. Yeah.
Overall narrative, relatively gray or tan atmosphere, mostly forgettable characters, and we're on QuickTime events. It was a
Okay, yeah, we're starting immediately. Okay, immediately. So he's starting this review, and he starts this review by basically shitting on a beloved classic. Like, I mean, look, Space Marine 1 was not perfect. Okay, the final boss should not have been a quick time event, and when chaos shows up, yeah, it really kind of breaks the flow of the gameplay because it's not built around melee. You know, because the game is built around meleeing a lot and getting your health back from hordes of dudes, and then the chaos part is basically a more traditional third-person shooter, which the game isn't really built to, play like. It's still a good game with a good story and everything, and I'm sorry, but Bricky is coming off like it feels like he's trying to come off like he's so above it all, I
mean, you're not wrong. I was suddenly put into the mind of, fuck. You remember the episode of The Simpsons where Homer gets a job as a food critic, and initially he loves everything, but then some fucking critics are all like, you need to stop being so, positive about everything and be overly critical about everything.
Yeah, and then he hates everything.
Yeah, he proceeds to swap on a dime and starts insulting everything to the point he even tells his wife, her cooking has 2 words to it: shake and bake.
Is that
she likes shake and bake?
Is that the one where they try to kill Homer with the
with the donut?
Yeah, with the eclair. Yeah, Le Bomb.
I
remember that one.
My personal favorite show talking about food critics is South Park, because you know what those food critics deserve, Iraq?
Oh.
What?
Boogers and cum. It's boogers.
Yeah, look, man. All I gotta say is cream fraiche. But anyway, yes. Moving on.
10 at best. A perfectly serviceable game with some above average.
6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Fuck you. It is. Look, if being completely fucking objective, Space Marine is at the very least a high 7 or an 8. But 6, no.
I was just gonna say a flat 7.
Average moments, but
I was gonna say a 7.
Extremely
at the
exciting
risk of being one
outside
of those,
the satisfaction of beating.
I feel like the standards for it are different from something like a AAA game. Like, it seems like he's approaching this like it was a fucking big budget AAA game when it was like a AA game with a budget of 2 Band-Aids and some gum.
Yeah,
and it wasn't even fully GW sanctioned. They were just like, this is an alternate universe.
Yeah. It's a little history lesson for everyone. You gave Space Marine a 1 out of 10. Space Marine 1 a 10 out of 10 for the Squigma male jump scare. Yes, Millie, exactly. It's like, it's actually, yeah, because it's like, because a little history lesson, for Space Marine 1, the lead developer made the game with the assumption it took place in an alternate universe because he didn't think he didn't want to fuck with the lore too bad in case they made mistakes. And then it was after it was a success that Games Workshop basically, kicked the door in and was like, no, this is canon. This is canon, fuck you, basically.
Hey, Bo, when did Ultramarine come out relative to this?
Shit.
The movie? I can search it up real quick.
Yeah, the movie. Because I feel like, look, to me, it feels like you had Ultramarine, which they did make non-canon. You also had Tau, which is so
Fire Warrior. Now, Fire Warrior was like...
Fire Warrior, yeah.
Yeah, Fire Warrior was the first attempt.
Is when Ultramarines, a Warhammer 40,000 movie came out.
So yeah, this came out right off the heels of Ultramarine. And so,
it was like 3 years, yeah, like a 3-year difference.
Yeah, like you had...
Wait, no. Hold
2011.
on. No.
Oh,
you're
2011.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, no, that's the dyscalculia going. Yeah, that's it.
Well,
so yeah, like
what's 9 plus 10?
Shut up. This was like a year after. This was a year after the Ultramarines movie, which was not great. This was also at the height of Matt Ward Ultramarine hate as well.
So, saying, all right, just in case we get something wrong, so no one, throws pitchforks through our office for getting lore wrong, it's an alternate reality. But it was so successful and so beloved, they're like, canon.
Yeah, like the first one of the there's a short story that involves Kato Sicarius going through the first time this was confirmed as canon it's a short story. I forget the title off the top of my head. It's got Kato Sicarius going through the annals of captains in the Ultramarines, and as he's going through the names of the captains, it lists Titus, and that was the first time Space Marine was confirmed to actually be canon.
Well, isn't Sicarius the captain right after Titus?
I think so. I think he is. But right, yeah. Continuing.
Orcs to a pulp, and the hilarity of the side villain.
Space Marine! You trying to steal my Titans? Steal my loot? I'll rip your guts right out your throat!
And a decently in-depth PvP mode. But that's to a lay person. To a Warhammer fan, it's one of the few times their beloved franchise has graced mainstream eyes. One of the only times the Warhammer 40,000 setting had been adapted into something for the modern day. The modern gamer, not another strategy game this time. A real get-with-the-times level of product. Characters like Titus and Leandros were not subpar soldier men saying soldier men things. They're important now, turning into various memes in the fandom and creating what I consider one of the largest examples of rose-tinted power armor in quite some time. 13 years later.
No. I'm sorry. Look, Bricky, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. You are placing way more emphasis on the idea that Warhammer fans only like it for being a Warhammer game and not the fact it's a good game. Warts and all. It is a good game.
This is like saying retroactively Gears 2 and 3 are bad.
Right?
Gears 2 and 3 aged really well, by the way. I will admit, Gears 1 did not age that well, but 2 and 3 did.
It really does come across like he's basically ranking it lower purely because it's on the older side now, and it's basically a 10-year-old game, so it's like...
13.
Yeah. So it's like he's basically judging it harshly because it's on the older side. It's like, I'm sorry, are you seriously holding it to a current standard relative to the current technology? Seriously?
Even as a non-Warhammer fanatic gal, I fucking adore it. Save for pushing in someone's soft spot. Yeah, no, exactly. Because again, those latter portions of the game can be obnoxious, but yeah, it's it's such the most minor of warts to bitch about. Because you can still beat the game. You just got to know, you just got to get your loadout
right. And Warhammer as a product has grown substantially.
Oh, hold up. Hey,
note against strategy.
Hey, hun, could you myrtlate that AI?
Sure thing.
Thank you. We don't tolerate AI. Thank you.
We don't tolerate the abominable intelligence.
Yeah. It's like mods, shoot that guy. But okay.
Already on the up and up for a bit, the COVID-19 pandemic locked everyone indoors and forced them to put down the work clothes and pick up the paintbrush. Along with releases of newer, better editions of the tabletop game, higher quality miniatures, and some new
Saying
mainline
Ninth
games,
was a good
Warhammer
addition,
40K
that's a take.
is truly on the rise to being a mainstream name outside of just the United
Honestly,
Kingdom.
8th and 10th were better than
With the success of
9th.
multiple Warhammer titles such as Mechanicus, Dark
Fuck
Tide,
you.
Bolt Gun, and Rogue Trader, it was clear that the people hungered for more
I am biased, I
digestible,
actually like
wide appeal 40K titles, and it just so happened that a certain one from 2011 decided to end on a cliffhanger, ready to be picked back up. Captain Titus, accused of chaos, corruption, and heresy at the end of
Chaos,
Space
corruption,
Marine
and
1,
Harry.
returns 13 years later
Oh,
with a new game,
spoiler
a
warning,
new
a
coat
bit
of paint,
late.
and a demotion.
Yeah.
in
Fuck.
Space Marine 2.
Yeah. Just a warning, everyone. This will have spoilers. So if you haven't played Space Marine 2 yet, and you don't want to be spoiled, there will be spoilers in this. That's just hold on. Actually, you know what? Because I'm not a dick. I'm changing the stream title to have spoiler warning.
That would be a good idea.
Denzel, I will say 10th. I hated 10th at first. I've come around to it. It's an art edition.
It's because his old favorite, line of, units
Millie,
got
if you haven't finished
pussified into
There's
10.
2 at this point. Come on.
I mean,
I still haven't played enough tabletop to know. So
I'd say 10th is 10th is gonna have has been had growing pains, but
Developed by
I feel like
Saber
it's turning out to be a good
Focus
addition.
Entertainment.
What is your reward? My salvation is my reward.
Yeah, exactly.
This scene does go hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah, Millie, your computer exploded. Kind of put a damper on things.
Is death. What is your
I get the feeling she's probably like, I don't want to
pledge
touch this
is
game again because it might
eternal
explode my
service.
computer again.
Now, I played it with her. It's
the
running
fault
fine.
for Millie's computer exploding was on crappy Best Buy products.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong, but when it
Now,
comes to
some
like
backstory.
expensive
I am
computer,
what one would
failures,
like to call a small
can be,
Warhammer fan. I
PTSD-inducing
dabble a
towards
little
games.
bit.
He can only get so erect, chat.
And this dabbling has brought me to a lot of aspects of the hobby, and with the exception of the laughable Warhammer
Yeah, Warhammer Plus
subscription
sucks.
service,
Don't subscribe to
I
it.
tend to engage with all of
Fuck
it.
you.
both
I'm
the
so
games
sorry.
and the tabletop.
It
This
is
has made me
given
grow
me a
into
free model.
strange
Consumer.
combination of
Hold up.
excited
the only
and
good thing was
jaded
Hammer
at
and
the
Bolt
same
They don't even do
time.
that anymore.
Warhammer, much like Star Wars, is a collection of fantastic things, mediocre things, and terrible things all under the same label. Where they differ is that Star
Comparing
Wars, at
Warhammer
least
to Star
lately,
Wars.
has a significantly larger percentage in the mediocre things category.
Mediocre,
where
that's a way to
Warhammer
put it.
feels like it is spread
Where is
amongst
a
all
single
three evenly.
mediocre
It
is good for Star Wars at this
33%
point?
Pure cinema, bland padding, and
Yeah.
absolute horseshit. Engage
Look, okay. Here's like this harkens back to earlier when he was talking about how Space Marine 2 is actually not that good, you guys. And remember, I did a rant on Twitter about the ironic fan, the guy who wants to, I'm so self-aware. Haha, Warhammer's actually bad, but you see, I recognize that because I'm smart and intelligent, unlike you, so I can engage with it. It's like, bro, I get it. You don't want to just praise everything. You don't just want to praise everything as a product, but like everything GW puts out. Because let's be real, GW puts out stinkers. I mean, that's just like that's
The Tides, episode 3.
yeah, the Tides episode 3. That was dog shit. That was legitimately some of the most biggest dog shit 40K content I've ever seen. But here's the problem. Bricky is trying to approach this like I'm so self-aware that 40K is mostly bad. It's like you sound Bricky, you sound pretentious. Okay? That's coloring people's thoughts going into this. You sound pretentious. Okay? You don't need
Mr. Denzel Jones.
Hmm?
Primaris is good. Shut up. Sorry, Bo.
No, Primaris Marines are actually Kino. But no, it's like, but seriously,
Sorry,
though,
Dan, you're kind of outnumbered here on Primaris.
But it's like the problem with this kind of attitude is that I feel like Bricky's trying to sound smarter than he actually is, or he's trying to avoid that. He's trying to be that, like, yeah, he's trying to act like he's self-aware of Warhammer being, you know, inherently bad as a franchise.
He doesn't want to be Wes Hammer.
I don't think many people want to be Wes Hammer. What?
Millie, you mean that in a very different way than Denzel. You know it.
With the media, engaging with the universe is not about enjoying its aspects as a whole, but rather finding the things you individually love and putting your time and effort into that. You may find nothing appealing about the Tyranids, giant bugs from outer space, and the main villain of Space Marine 2, but the undead Egyptian skeleton Necrons might be far more.
That's not Necrons.
Engaging.
Look, Bo, to be fair, that's the villain of that game.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, okay, it's like, this is a very minor gripe, but with your editing, dude, look, if you're gonna bring up Necrons, there's plenty of
Necrons on the screen.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, put Necrons on the screen if you're gonna talk about Necrons.
I feel like he just wanted an animated portion, whereas a still would have worked perfectly fine. Of just like
title to me are
relatively boring outside of.
Okay, let's back up a bit.
Protagonists of this title to me are relatively boring outside of a few of their main characters, yet my favorite Space Marine Legion are murdering psychopaths who flay people alive for fun. So what that says about me, I don't know. The reason for this whole tangent is that while I am often excited for new
so what you're saying is Bricky confirmed True Crimes fan.
Yeah. Hey, Bo, before you continue, did you see the jar behind him on his when he showed his face?
No. Why? What about
it? He has paid. Oh no. There's bidding wars. They get started over putting the bear in the jar, and I've seen him get like $100 to put the bear in the jar, and then $200 to take it out of the jar.
Warhammer games, I am also rather critical of them, possibly even more so than I am of other products, because I care so much about this universe and those that participate in it. I want it to be a good representation of what we can put out. This is why
keep in mind what he just said for going into this review. He just wants Warhammer to be good. You know, keep that in mind as you're watching this.
I don't prescribe to the recent consensus that Space Marine 1 is an underrated gem from the past. I think it's perfectly fine.
It wasn't underrated.
And doesn't go much past that.
It was perfectly rated as good.
I was really hoping Space Marine 2 would be that gem, would be what Space Marine 1 could have been given more time and not being 13 years ago. Was I right? Kind of? So let's talk campaign. In Space Marine 2, you play as Lieutenant Titus, demoted after the accusation from Leandros and here to stop a Tyranid invasion. The Tyranids are a hive mind of extremely genetically adaptive bugs who basically turn all forms of biomass into more of them. They're pretty insane and often considered one of, if not the biggest threat to all sentient life in the galaxy. So, you know, stop them from eating the entire planet. And the intro of this game is, in my opinion, the best part. You play as a nameless Deathwatch soldier after an excellent opening cutscene where you crash down below and are slowly taught how to shoot, fight, parry, dodge, and all the rest, while your kill team is slowly killed piecemeal as you are unable to message them due to a damaged Vox. This whole part culminates in a reveal where right after you send your bioweapon to halt the Tyranid advance, it's revealed that this nameless Deathwatch soldier is actually Captain Titus. Holy pog, add the soy jack pointing image to the screen.
That is before you get impaled by a Carnifex and are murdered, but miraculously live by crossing the Rubicon Primaris and becoming Primaris Lieutenant Titus. That's right, baby. We knew Games Workshop had another Primaris Lieutenant for us, and it's T-Man himself. You are inducted back into
I
the
can agree with that
Ultramarines
joke.
on shaky
Yeah,
ground,
no.
and off you go to murder Xenos filth in the name
We do need more
of the
Primaris
God
lieutenants.
Emperor. Now, this is
One per
where
week for the
people
rest
might
of
tend
eternity.
to diverge on opinions a bit. Space Marine 2
Okay,
is
slow
a
down.
2010s shooter through and
You know, we
through,
don't have a
and what
Karavis
that means
lieutenant.
for you can vary. When I think of a 2010 shooter, I think the same thing I discussed prior. Gray and tan, grunting dudes in armor, bad characterization, and worse story.
Worst story? Story? Hold on. Hey, let me just think of some 2010 games with really good stories that were shooters. Gears of War 3, Gears of War 2, Gears of War 1, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 2.
Just this Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare trilogy in general, you know? Actually,
according to the...
Actually, no, here's the thing, too. Here's the thing. I'm not the biggest Gears of War fan, right? I'm not the biggest Gears of War fan. I played the trilogy, though. It had a good story. It had good characters.
Bulletstorm, I'd understand, but he's referring to
All
Gears
right.
of
To
War
be fair, hold on. I want to say this. If he's referring to the Gears on screen, which is Judgment, he's not wrong. But hey, you know what's a game that came out in 2010 that I know Bricky shills for? Call of Duty Black Ops 1.
No. Okay. Let's go a little forward.
But with tons of shooty bang bang. Others see it as a straightforward turn your brain off level of action with set pieces and window dressing to enjoy as they play. For them, the lack of any kind of overarching narrative is not a bad.
There is an overarching narrative in Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah. I mean, hey, look, I think the fact because they're using Modern Warfare 2 footage here, right? So
it went from.
So okay, I think the fact that all the games you've mentioned, Bricky, have overarching narratives. What are you? What are you actually smoking right now?
And I'm gonna say this Modern Warfare 2 is like a pretty good story. You know what? No, I'm gonna hold that out of my mouth because I've seen this video. Bo hasn't seen this video. I've probably mauled it about what he's about to talk about, but I'll let Bo hear it firsthand.
Okay.
Thing, it's half the point. I can't deny when I say that I was hoping for a little more from the narrative of this game, but I think it stings twice as much due to the promise I was seeing at certain parts of it. Now, for starters, the gameplay of Space Marine 2 is incredibly fun, genuinely a great time to mess around with. It plays more like God of War than it does a third-person shooter. You do plenty of gun combat, but the melee has light combos that you throw around, and then you parry when you see a blue light or dodge when you see a red light. Then an enemy is wounded enough to be executed, which helps you regenerate armor or health if you have recently lost some. And it just helps that the game is an absolutely gory spectacle. Just pure blood splatters everywhere and bugs being ripped apart limb from limb, one after the other. It truly is glorious, and it better be glorious because that's all you are going to be doing for the 8 or so hours this campaign lasts. During that time,
okay, and why is that why does he list that as a bad thing? What? Okay. Well, okay. All right. Actual honest question. What does he want us? Does he want us to like have a fucking third person over the shoulder slow walk, sad dad scenes?
He wants.
Like,
I think he just wants Last of Us Part 2 for Space Marine.
That's
what he wanted.
Why the fuck would you want that? Last of Us 1 was ass, let alone Part 2.
Now, hold on. I don't think Bricky would agree with that.
No. Bricky can go fuck himself. I will die on the hill that both Last of Us games were bad.
Oh no, that's not at all wrong. I think they're both bad.
The first one is the most overrated, stripped down wannabe survival horror piece of shit ever made, and then 2 just made it worse.
But Bo, it has your people in it as representation.
I don't give a fuck about representation. I want to murder giant bugs. Okay. My childhood heroes were a giant radioactive fire-breathing dinosaur and an alien robot that turned into a truck. You think I give a fuck about representation? No, because I'm not a fucking sociopath. Okay.
I swear Bo's about to have a migraine.
About to.
Yeah, we're only 9
The
minutes
Titus
into
will
this, like,
begrudgingly
15
Yeah, I was about to
minute
say,
video.
we're only
his
20% of the way through
captain,
this.
while
I
his two
know.
subordinates
It's only
question
gonna
his
get
actions
worse.
throughout the campaign. I say this so matter of fact because that really is a massive amount of what the campaign has to offer. You and your squad get an order from your captain. You go down to eradicate the Tyranid infestation. You do exactly that while saying the famous Ultramarine lines such as death to the Xenos or for Gilliman or courage and honor or die heretic. Then you return
Number
back to
one,
the
Bricky. They say for the Primarch. Number two, they also say we march from a crag. You did get courage and honor, but you only got one of their several battle cries. I don't know.
I really.
I mean, I think that was just generalization.
I think the big problem here is that he's basically, the way he's talking about the campaign so dismissively, he's not actually saying anything wrong with the campaign. He's just saying that he didn't care.
He's saying it matter-of-factly.
Yeah, it's like he's saying like, and this is actually a criticism of his review style with this, is that he is saying that the campaign doesn't matter when it does, like the campaign absolutely matters, and he's just basically being like, oh no, whatever, campaign, whatever, shoot a game, campaign doesn't matter, whatever. It's like, fuck off.
A barge, get more orders, and do it again.
What?
That's
He's just permanently mad. Oh, wait. Bo is a Black Templar. His contempt came with his gene seed. He's just permanently mad, and the only cure is dead Xenos.
And heretics. Don't forget the heretics.
Yeah, oh, that too, Denzel. He's absolutely he is underselling the character interactions incredibly hard. Like,
well, we haven't got there yet. Maybe he'll talk about it.
You're not giving me hope, Boobs, with the veiled sarcasm in your voice here. I just want to point that out.
Okay.
He forced me to watch this with him, so I'm.
You only watched half of it, Rack. Psyche's already seen this full with me.
I saw the whole thing with Boobs. You're gonna have fun, Bo.
Okay. Yeah, let's keep going.
For the most part, is the entire purpose of the campaign. It's a COD campaign from 2010. Big, gruff, shoot man, McGrungy dude are given orders, execute them, return for more orders, and then repeat. And
I guess he's never read a Space Marine book.
What's wrong with that? Hell, these COD games from back when were relatively loved at the time. And to that I say,
relatively loved.
Not really.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna shut up. This is the part. This is the part that broke me, Bo. I'm shutting up. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Often they were considered the weakest parts of their package, but even with that being said, they did have set pieces that made it a bit more enjoyable overall. What Space Marine 2 is missing is both the story and characterization as well as the set pieces, and that is where I think it.
What do you mean missing set pieces? Wait, hold on. Actually, no, wait, back up a little bit. Did he really just pull the you thought you enjoyed it, but you didn't? Did he really pull that?
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah. Yes, he did.
Bo, I warned you. I warned you of that.
Oh my god. You thought you enjoyed it, but you didn't. What the fuck kind of pretentious ass bullshit is this? You thought you enjoyed.
Remember the set pieces? How you were dropped in the middle of a forest on your way to a building?
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, no, there's no set piece.
Yeah, no, there's no set pieces in this game. It's not like the opening.
Cutscenes.
It's not like the opening tutorial is full of them. It's not. It's it's not like the opening tutorial ends with a boss fight you're supposed to lose. It's not. Hey, remember. Yeah, remember when they totally didn't, stand with the chapter banner in a last stand against the Thousand Sons at the end of the game? That totally wasn't a set piece.
Hey, we're only at the beginning of the
That literally wasn't cover art at all.
Hey, never mind that this game is full of really good boss fights. Hey, guess what a boss fight is? A set piece.
I'm gonna be honest. I love Space Marine 2's boss fights because they're actually fun.
It's like he thinks a set piece must have no gameplay. It's like
the movie portion, yeah. That's what he's saying.
It's like he thinks a set piece is strictly something outside the player, like the only the most basic forms of player control. It's like, no, that's not what a fucking set piece is. A set piece is something deliberately set up like a set piece is something you are funneled into by the game to be a part you got to pass. And that can be something you have full gameplay control over, including things like boss fights. This game has a ton of fucking boss fights. It's one of the things I love about it. But no, you're just ignoring all those, Bricky. What's wrong with you?
He also said the part where he was referring to the older games, how it's just Shooty McShoot with a cool set piece. He basically just said that this game is Shooty McShoot with no set piece, even though it is exactly the same.
So he's contradicting himself too.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, choice criticism.
10 minutes in this. We're only 10 minutes in this, boys.
We were only a fifth of the way through this. God damn it. Okay, let's go.
20%, yes.
Part. Gameplay, set pieces, not visual ones.
20% and a fifth of the same.
Whoa. Hold the fuck up. I want to make sure he said what I think he said back there.
As well as the set pieces, and that is where I think it truly misses its part. Gameplay, set pieces, not visual ones. That's all beautiful, but
no gameplay set pieces?
But there are visual set pieces when you're playing the game. I guess that's not a game set piece.
Okay, oh my.
But there are gameplay set pieces. Like, there are different kinds of things that you fight. And
what's on the screen right now, Bricky? That's a fucking set piece.
The game does indeed change its pace.
Where's the robot man?
Where are the set pieces, Bricky? Okay, listen, I'm gonna be completely honest, like, just from what little we're in. He is talking like somebody who does not understand media. At all. This man does not know what he's talking about at all. Like, it sounds like he's talking like he's someone who thinks he knows what media is. Like, he is deep in Dunning-Kruger right now.
The actual meat.
I think it's more just he doesn't know how video games work.
Set pieces are easier to discuss because they are gameplay related. As mentioned before, a majority of the campaign will be the usual shoot, stab, and murder of Xenos. But what it misses out on is any change in the formula to mix it up and keep each individual mission fresh. In the campaign, there is absolutely zero progression of any kind. You don't earn experience, you don't earn armor upgrades, you don't earn cosmetics, you simply play as Titus, and that is that. Unless
the game does not need a crafting system to be good. What the?
Yeah. I was getting the mad feelings out of this. I didn't watch with them last night, but like, I was getting the mad feelings out of this. That the dude's basic reason for why he doesn't like the game is because it is fucking simple. Like, it is straightforward. It is what it says on the tin. You play as a space marine. You get to, like, fuck around with loadouts and shit like that. And in the multiplayer, you've got perks and shit like that. But it's not some crafting survival sim.
Yeah, it's okay.
Denzel's right. Denzel's got a point.
Yeah.
Denzel, that's exactly what I said at this point.
Yeah, you unlock
new... You saying Denzel.
Yeah, you keep unlocking new guns and shit throughout the campaign. So not only is he objectively wrong, but it's like, what does he want? Does he want to be like the fucking, loot, like crafting loot boxes, fucking looter shooter, Suicide Squad, kill the Justice League bullshit? Is that what he wants this to be?
Also, yeah. I'm not too like the type. I'm not too inclined on how they fucking adorn Space Marines with different cosmetics in the actual fucking lore, but I don't think they changed them that often either.
Pronounce your name, dude.
Here's the problem with that outlook, because like Titus, Gadriel, and Chiron are established characters, and based on their rank, their achievements, and whatever, Space Marines, they wear a set suit of armor. Like, they would not just go changing their armor. Like the only way they'd change their armor, per mission or something, would be if, like, say, it required, like, say, a different variant of Mark 10 Tacticus, which would be like, Gravis or Phobos or Inceptor. And it's like, okay, like, that's a thing, but that would be, like, for setting up a new gameplay portion. Like when you get the jetpacks. Guess what those are, Bricky? Those are set pieces. The thing you said the game doesn't have. Okay. We're gonna keep going.
Unless you are co-op, and then you play as his other two squad mates as well. Now, normally, when the game throws you into a set piece, it strips you of all of your upgrades, and it's a bit annoying. But because that doesn't exist, there is a profoundly lacking amount of cool shit to do in each mission. My mind races.
Oh yeah, no. Oh, for the record, let me clarify my position. Titanfall 2, in my opinion, used to be one of my favorite games. I fucking hate it now.
Why?
Because of people like this. That just act like it's the greatest game ever made. Nothing ever has competed with it. And the fact that it really was just okay. In my opinion, in my genuine, honest opinion, is a downgrade from Titanfall 1. Titanfall 1 has a better art style, better gameplay loop, because the Titan combat in Titanfall 1 is so much better than 2. And I like the factions more. I like the narrative more of Titanfall 1. Sure, it doesn't have one, and it's mostly set dressing, but it makes the factions not just space Nazis versus space ISIS.
You know what? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, okay, let's keep going.
Directly back to Titanfall 2, one of the best shooter campaigns of all time, and vividly remembering every single story mission having some kind of cool gimmick. Getting separated from BT in the sewers, the apartment home fabricator map with all the verticality, affecting causes time travel, and the Seer escape kit. There is always a cool reason why they all felt different. And if you want a similar example back in the time frame of Space Marine 1, hell, even something like Modern Warfare 2 from 2009.
Bricky, I thought you said we didn't like this game.
Yeah, but
he often goes back on himself.
Okay, so he's contradicting himself even harder. Okay, fair.
It is a good one. Turret sections on the Humvees, snowmobile chase scenes, two factions fighting each other as Crossfire, defending the Burger Town, AC-130 segments, all of this stuff.
Hey, pause right here, Bo. Hold on. Go back to that AC-130 screen. You know what's great about that?
Hold on. What about it?
That's Modern Warfare 1. I play Modern Warfare 1, 2, and 3 so much, I can tell you just from this still, it's Modern Warfare 1. Not only does Modern Warfare 2's AC-130 mission actually in co-op, which is the Spec Ops mission, it has a different grain to it.
Okay. All right. Y'all talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I'll be right back, everyone. Okay, I gotta do something real quick, but then we'll continue this, okay?
I don't fucking know.
Okay, here's the thing, Denziel. If you're gonna do editors, you tell them what you want. And then you double check that. They always do this. A lot of YouTubers will, double check their editors.
And it's just... double checks his editors? He doesn't even do his own research. What the fuck are you talking about?
He fucking should!
I know.
Like,
you and me were both fucking listening to that shit, and after a while, it just started becoming.
Oh my god! All right. You know what? No, I am gonna rant about Adric.
Actually, back on this mission real quick.
I'll have to tell Bo this.
What did you do to the church?
Oh, of course we all shot that show at the 105. So okay, Rat. All right, Psyche. Say you have a lore podcast or something, or no, Ash. Say you have a Girl Genius lore podcast, right?
Yeah.
Say there's it's just something you don't really know a whole lot about, you don't really like, but everyone in your audience wants you to do an episode on them.
Like,
what do you do?
Probably do research about it.
Oh yeah, you'll research it. So you won't just sit there for an hour and a half, 2 hours nearly, with your co-host just making fun of this faction because you hate them, because you're Bricky and you hate Eldar.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That's a waste of anybody's time, and also just deeply dishonest, really. If I don't like a thing, that's one thing. But I feel like if somebody asks me to talk on that and I have something to say, if I don't have anything to say and I'm not intent upon it, I'll probably just very quickly be like, I wouldn't do that because it's not to my tastes, or I just flat out hate it. I would not spend an hour doing that.
Yeah.
Hey, Bo, real quick, I want to give you the context of this conversation.
Yeah.
You know Bricky's lore podcast that I've mentioned once or twice?
Yeah.
His Eldar episode is so fucking bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad that me, Rack, and a few of our friends were all like, dude, what the fuck? We were trying to ping Bricky. We were trying to ping Bricky to just, hey, here's this guy in your community. All he does is Eldar shit. Put him to do it, because this episode is an hour and a half of them laughing at Eldar.
He
No
basically
lore is
stole the
discussed.
Discord messages, kind of touched them, and then just was like, "Yeah, others are just fucking tree lickers or some shit." And then I just was like, "All right, I'm done with this podcast now," because I actually wanted to listen to it.
I do not recommend Adeptus Ridiculous to anyone because it is legitimately just haha memes now. It doesn't actually discuss lore.
And it used to. The worst part is it used to. But all right, the Fulgrim episode is a great example. Here's 30 minutes of them saying that they had fucking Ash's fanfic about masculine men for 3 hours.
Yeah.
All right.
Fanfic? I can write an entire actual novel, like, actually, like, officially my own thing. Thank you.
All right.
Ash, I'm so glad we're friends.
All right, I'm hitting go.
It's all stuff to break up the usual moment-to-moment gameplay, and Space Marine 2 has almost none of this except for 3 parts I can actually remember.
It doesn't need it. Why
I honestly spaced out.
Why are you criticizing a strength of the game? You know, that you play the fucking thing instead of watch it. Like, what the fuck?
The first is you get a pyroblaster and you burn a bunch of Ripper swarms into a room and push them out from surrounding you. That part's fine, it's a bit of novelty, but the really fun moment, probably the best in the game, is when you are falling from space across a bunch of destroyed ships, and that genuinely felt incredibly badass. All you're doing is moving yourself out of the way of stuff, but just seeing that was such an awesome breakup from all the other kinds of gameplay going on. There's also a bit near the end when you hold your company standard and fire at a bunch of enemies with a pistol, which is kind of decent, but other than that, there is genuinely so little to break.
Kinda decent.
Yeah, guys, it was kind of decent. Just don't pull up the clip of me, Bo, and Ash. Me and Bo specifically.
Yeah.
Soy pogging. Like,
Yeah.
look. I'm sorry, but the line of second company.
Boobs. Save your anger for like 10 seconds.
I know.
Okay. You know what he's about to say.
Okay, hold on. Okay,
just watch.
Up the same gameplay loop over and over again, which I wouldn't mind if there was customization or progression to keep it interesting.
You don't need that for the campaign. You are Captain Titus. That's all you need.
You are an Ultramarine.
You are a scripted character.
No, guys. You don't understand. If they just put it in the game, you could gather enough, enough plasteel and dealy whackers to craft a purple heavy bolter +3, just so you can loot a gold heavy bolter +5 a couple minutes later, from a loot box that you got from the Mechanicum store. Yeah, no. That would be really good gameplay, guys. That would make the game good. Fuck you, Bricky.
He's basically saying, I don't want to be Mason from Black Ops 1.
Thin over the course of the game's runtime.
Which,
hey, I mean, we can forgive, right? If the story and people we are playing are a bit better, and here I'm a bit more mixed. I do think gameplay-wise it overstates its welcome, but the gameplay is so good that even while that does happen, it isn't the worst thing ever. But what gets me...
You just spent like...
What do you mean by...
Wait, but Bricky, you just spent like 7 minutes shitting on the gameplay.
I don't get, is the gameplay good, but bad? Like, what do you mean by that?
He means that there isn't any unnecessary crafting sections or stealth sections.
No.
Just
He didn't have enough scenes where you're just like walking slowly with guitar music playing in the background, talking to your adoptive daughter figure about how sad you are because you're a sad dad in a sad dad game. Oh my fucking! Look.
But hon, the dad of sad games had a son, not a daughter.
Well, I was referencing Last of Us. But,
I know.
You know what I mean. But it's
he fucking is saying like, I don't want the game to be a hack and slash, but I want it to be a hack and slash at the same time.
I think I get what he's saying, but it's still stupid, and it still basically amounts to he likes the basic gameplay loop as it is, but the problem is that he wants the game to be something that it isn't. He doesn't want it to be a Space Marine game where you play through doing what a Space Marine would fucking do. What he wants is some overly varied unfocused scope game about like being a space marine, but also having like random sections of fucking like, stealth or fucking open world sandboxing about and crap like that.
Oh my god.
Like having it be like a linear experience where you go through as this space marine, basically killing your way through like bugs and then eventually nerds, is like not good enough for him. And it reads like basically low grade ADHD on his part.
It feels like his concept of what makes a good game is completely poisoned by the PlayStation 5 experience.
It's basically
100%.
just like
Probably.
it's the game focused on Ultramarines. He wants it to be focused on a different marine, different specialty.
That might actually be it. He might have never realized he unlocked more weapons as he went.
I could see that being a thing, Denzel.
Wait, what? Oh,
he's saying that Bricky might not have realized he unlocked more weapons as he went.
In the armory.
Yeah. I mean, never mind the fact that the game pointed to, if that legit is what happened, and after the game literally points you to the armory, then yeah.
Before every mission,
just general wasted opportunity. Like Space Marines are often seen as boring characters, and for damn good reason.
Shut up, Bricky.
Hold on.
Hold on, keep listening.
I'm gonna ask you.
Yeah.
Unpause this for the next minute.
Okay.
It's hard to make a compelling character when their personality boils down to murder everything that isn't me, and then meditate on how you can do it better. Hard to make that interesting. Or so I had thought. Right after playing my first
Hold up, Bo.
Hold on.
campaign run through, I read Horus Rising, the first of the Horus Heresy trilogy that I, despite reading over 30, 40k novels, never got around until now. And let me just say, Garvia Loken is a badass motherfucker who is the most interesting son of a bitch in power armor I've read in a hot minute. Turns out, you absolutely can make incredibly interesting Space Marines so long as you have the right writer, and Dan Abnett was the guy for the job. Titus has...
I need this one.
Okay,
this is what I've been
okay, listen, everyone. Listen. Bricky criticized the Great Crusade in the lore as being just as dangerous to humans as the Xenos they were trying to stop, using 6319 as an example. Because according to him, they could have just left them alone. They could have just chosen not to fire first at 6319. You know what happened at 6319? They sent, Horus sent one of the Mournival, Serjanus, to go talk to the ruler of 6319. They killed Serjanus in cold blood, unprovoked. Do you know what Horus did? Rather than send in the Luna Wolves to force compliance on the planet, he sent in Malaghurst to go talk to them, to offer them a second chance. They shot down Malaghurst's Stormbird, and he was forever crippled and unable to fight anymore. They gave 6319 2 chances to talk to them. Just talk it out, And this was after they killed the first guy, who was one of Horus's captains.
One of his Mournival, not just his captains.
Yeah, the Mournival, his inner circle, his closest companions. And Bricky presented this like none of this happened, and the Great Crusade just found 6319 and just attacked. Because fuck them, right? They exist. Fuck them. Just attack them. And now I'm finding out this motherfucker never read Horus Rising to begin with, the book where that happens. It's the opening chapters of the motherfucking book.
All right. Hey, Bo, my good buddy. I would like to challenge me and you, and anyone that wants to join.
Mm-hmm.
Good Space Marine characters.
What?
How many can you think of?
Okay.
Off the top of your head.
Okay.
With no thinking.
Okay, I'll go first. Grimaldus, Captain Titus. Let's see.
Minus game characters. Let's subtract
minus game characters
in games.
Okay. Grimaldus. Pedro Cantor. Fuck. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with names. The guy who loses his arm doesn't give a shit.
The one I was about to say, Alessio Cantor, or Captain Alessio Cortez.
Yeah, Alessio Cortez. Uriel Ventress. Hyperion.
Yeah, Dreads count.
Yeah, Hyperion. Bjorn the Fell-Handed. Okay.
Let me throw a few if you don't mind.
Well,
Dante.
Yeah, Dante.
Luis, motherfucking Dante.
Yeah.
Put respect on his name.
Yeah,
Of course.
Yeah, Dante, Mephiston, fucking Asterath. Let's see who else. Let's see. Sword Brother Lucerne.
Sword Brother Lucerne is awesome.
Fuck. This is
Volcanistan.
Yeah.
Did you already say Catasicarius?
No, but hey, guess what? Catasicarius is a good character. Fuck you if you disagree.
People don't like him.
Well, he has been redeemed.
Hey, but listen. They can dislike him all they want. They're fucking wrong. Okay. Tyberos, Red Wake, Rylanor.
Rylanor, the Ancient of Rites, the Anchorite.
Oh my god, the Horus Heresy alone is...
Nathaniel Garrow.
The Horus Heresy alone, I couldn't list them all. I couldn't. I'd fucking... my brain is so fucking scrambled right now. I have been flashbanged by the worst take imaginable. Oh my fucking god.
You can't make good Space Marines.
You can't make good Space Marine characters. Like, motherfucker.
Malam Kaido.
Wait, isn't this guy a Star Wars fan?
No.
Isn't this guy?
Oh, true.
Huh?
So not that I'm aware. Oh, you mean Bricky?
Bricky's a Star Wars fan.
Oh, well, fuck him then. Okay, but
okay,
seriously.
I have to wonder what his take on fucking Jedi are, because they are literally everything he criticized Space Marines for being. Basically kill people and then pray about it.
Bro, like, the fact that he is trying to say that you can't make good Space Marines, and then is going to claim... He claims himself as this arbitrator of lore, never having read the Horus fucking Heresy.
I mean, shit, it's like... Fuck.
I hope I don't unplug my computer.
Alright. Bo, I'm going to ask you an important question.
Yeah.
You are obviously someone who is well-versed in 40k lore. Would you say that you are the arbitrator of what is good and bad?
Fuck no, I'm not. I'm the first guy to say I don't know everything.
How many times do you think you could say that what you say, though, is a fact about an opinion of Warhammer?
Generally speaking, if I don't know it for certain, I do not. If I don't know something for certain, I do not present it that I know it for certain. Like, if I know a fact about the lore, if I know something about the lore factually, I will say it as such. If I don't, I will obviously say, I don't know for certain, but this is what I remember, or this is what I've heard. If I don't know, period, I'll just say I don't know. But Bricky, our boy Bricky here decided he was gonna, criticize a part of a book he'd never fucking read until like this month. So yeah. Is it true that the Ultramarines are Mary Sue's? It's hard to... They are not Mary Sue's. They've never been Mary Sue's. People remember like one part of one codex from 5th edition that isn't even like talked about, that isn't even like reflected in the lore anymore because it was ass, and people use that as their entire basis for hating the Ultramarines. It's fucking stupid because they get all their lore from fucking the Emperor at a Texas Speech Device, which is another show I have beef with, I will point out.
Also, Denzel, 2 of us in this call currently were fans of Adric until that Eldar episode happened. So we know exactly what you're talking about, but apparently his opinions has changed.
Hold up, did I hear someone shit-talking Ultramarines?
No, you didn't.
No.
No, Mixed Champion was asking, is it true that Ultramarines are Mary Sue's?
Yeah, Mick. No, Mixed. It's okay. I'm not like mad at you or nothing. I'm okay. Mixed. No, I'm not mad at you or nothing. I'm just in general rant mode right now, and this is how I get during rant mode. I'm like not taking this out on anyone except Bricky.
I'm also not
for the record,
Ultramarine fanatic.
Every time I get told, For the record, Ultramarines, they actually earned all their victories. All of them they are earned. Like, oh, all right. What a lot of people like to say, oh, what about the time they fought High Fleet Behemoth? They lost their entire first company. That's not a minute detail, Michael. That is first company. Like, losing any first company veterans, a fucking tragedy. Losing the entire fucking company, though, that is an actual fucking moment of, oh, shit. Because these are your veterans that their combined knowledge alone are thousands of fucking years. Gone. Because to even consider being fucking considered a veteran, you're several hundred years old. Like, Titus is in second company at 200 years old. That's still second company. First company, you have to at least be 300.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these are your veterans these are veterans that have been everywhere, been there, done that, killed that hundreds of fucking times.
They got the t-shirt.
Yeah, they got the fucking t-shirt. The one time I can almost understand it is them saying Carlos Carius killing a Catan, but then again, he rocked up to it twice. Fuck you, he's awesome.
But just remember, guys, there are no good Space Marine characters.
Yep, no good Space Marine characters, everyone.
Something to note. Part of their success is due to the fact that, hate it as much as you want, Guilliman is an excellent tactician.
No, we're taking out Guilliman. I am taking out my dad. I am talking about specifically pre-Guilliman coming back.
Yep.
My chapter is still like. Here's the thing: there's nothing they excel in, and that's why they're good at everything.
They
can do any war and still excel at it. Like now, if you want to give me their heresy arc, okay, cool. Corvus Corax, master of stealth, master of guerrilla war. Yeah, I can't beat Guilliman twice. I can do it once, never again. Because the second you beat the Ultramarines, they figured out how you did it and beat you in that exact regard.
All right. Well,
they're like Count Dooku.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna keep going.
Promise, and his relation with his squad mates also has promise, and occasionally you'll see a cutscene and go, oh damn, maybe they got it in them.
I must apologize for my actions on Abracus. Unnecessary. I fell prey to suspicion. Almost killed him. When I was a young captain, one of my men questioned my motives, brushed his concerns aside, and I paid the price. Your suspicions arose because I failed to answer your doubts. As I failed to answer his.
Stand by for suborbital drop.
I'm honored to fight beside you both.
As are we, brother.
You grew up on Calth. Let's say we said.
Fuck you.
Why does it say Largar was right?
Someone not dead today.
Because he's
Miami again. What happened
But for
on
each
Cal?
of
Okay, no, we're gonna keep going.
those, there is another cutscene of the usual fanfare and things just move ahead. Plus, just in general, the campaign's pacing isn't great. A lot of it feels rushed. Example, you meet another faceless Ultramarine in your campaign, and one of your squad mates ensures you he is the bee's knees, or the Emperor's skeletal knees. You fight with them for a bit, and then this cutscene plays out.
Have the enemy infiltrated the dome?
No, my lord. What about the Temple of Thasian?
The dome was evacuated days ago.
Rejoin the main force immediately.
Our orders are to remain here.
On whose authority?
Captain Fairburn. We are to hold this position until further notice.
The dome is empty. Now move on.
But, sire...
I gave you an order.
Forgive me, my lord. Perhaps there was a communication error. The captain insisted.
The deserters.
No. We have our orders.
Vox your captain. If you are deserters, I'll execute you myself.
Captain Fairburn, come in. Captain Fairburn, come in.
Ambush. Kill them!
So this whole scene illustrates how I feel about the campaign. The first half of the cutscene, genuinely good, tense, interesting, good camera work, intriguing, awesome. Second half, dude, we just met this guy, this mission, and he dies as a throwaway character. Then the Rubric Marines arrive, say absolutely nothing, and you just begin combat.
The Rubric Marines, Bricky.
Okay.
Before we go, a quick thing. Apparently there's a voice line that states that Virilus is not dead, he's actually in a sarcophagus.
You know what? Based.
Hey, can I say this about Virilus? Same VA as the fucking squid in your head in Baldur's Gate.
Okay, but anyway, okay. The argument of, oh, you killed a throwaway character is completely worthless. Because the game
that literally happens on the battlefield all the time for Space Marines. They'll see a new brother.
It's not even the fucking first time in the game. There are other squad mates like you have that you send off to go do something on like the first mission on the planet. And then, there's like 2 Space Marines that are part of your squad. And then one of them doesn't come back. It's like, it's touched upon in the game. It's like there are plenty of secondary characters who are there and die in the story. There's nothing wrong with this. This is not a weakness of the story at all. And
Death Watch Marines at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, like your fucking Death Watch squad all die. Like it's like, I can't imagine where he's coming from. It's like, oh, a character died. He shouldn't have died. It's like, okay, but then you know what you'd be doing, Bricky, if the opposite happened? You'd be complaining that they're all invincible Mary Sues and that they don't die. It's like, Bricky, you're trying to. This is so fucking stupid. I'm having trouble formulating an actual. It's like there's no actual point to make against him because he's not making a point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
to know, Virilus was pretty much point blank to that explosion.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like
he took a piece of shrapnel to the eye. It's kind of lethal to most things.
Yeah, it's like
it breached the weakest part of the helmet.
He's not complaining about the death. He's complaining it could have been cooler. Like it does. Cool. Like what is cooler then? Like how could it have been? Like how could it have been cooler? It's like it doesn't need to be. It doesn't like should have been blown in half or all his limbs blown off and he dies.
He should have been flayed by the explosion.
And then should have just jumped him and fucking stabbed him with his knives. Or the fucking portal should have opened.
Okay. Everyone shut up. Everyone shut up. Okay, everyone shut up. It's like so. What do we want? How's it supposed to be cooler? Is he supposed to get his legs blown off and he dies screaming, begging for his mother? Is he supposed to be like have his head taken off entirely? Is he supposed to be like is he supposed to be like turning just a pair of smoking boots on the ground? How is it supposed to be cooler? Like what is like I don't like that's not much of a that's not a defense against that's not a defense of Bricky's criticism. His criticism is just that characters apparently die, because not every character in a story is going to be introduced, and have like their big fucking, hours and hours and hours of character development. Some characters are just introduced to die, and that's okay. Like I know you'll meet a lot of people who will say Attack on Titan is bad, but genuinely in the early seasons that everyone can agree upon was good, it built a ton of its tension off the fact that it introduced basically undeveloped nobodies who all got torn to pieces in the first mission.
Yeah, let's not forget that battle where we were introduced to a couple, and the next time we see them, the girl is trying to revive half the corpse of her boyfriend.
Yeah, it's like we met those characters like in a story like this, in a combat-focused story like this, deaths like that are necessary because it points out the brutality and violence of war. We meet that couple in Attack on Titan. We meet them for like a minute, and then the next time we see them, the dude is ripped in half, and she's trying to fucking give him CPR, and it's like, yeah, we just met them. Absolutely pointless death. That's the point.
Oh, hey, another part of that same episode.
Yeah.
Hey, we gotta retake the supply cache. What's going on in the supply cache? Why are you loading that gun?
Oh, right, yeah.
Hit self-delete.
We're not gonna say. We're just gonna say, why are you loading that gun? If you've seen the show, you know what happens. I can't say what happens.
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you're gonna make a, there is absolutely a place to develop side characters, but there's also the place where sometimes you just got to introduce a cool dude and then take him from the audience. And
did I finish my beer already? What the fuck?
There is no need to make
when you're annoyed, you drink fast.
There is no need to make a character this long running supporting character just to make the audience care. You don't need to do that. This is like writing 101 here, Bricky. All right, moving on.
Like, how the fuck would they even fit him
wait.
stories?
Also, the Rubric Marines. Rubric Marines didn't speak.
Oh yeah. The Rubric Marines say nothing. Yeah, the Rubric Marines, they're basically non-sentient. They can't talk. They're dust in their armor, Bricky. Like, you should know this, being the authority on Warhammer lore you claim yourself to be. Like that, because that's fucking basic shit. That's like not knowing who the word bearers are.
Who were the word bearers? Oh yeah, they're a bunch of fucking losers and to be wiped out from the galaxy. I hate them.
Oh no,
they're stupid and I hate them.
I was ripping on a certain pants-related individual who claims to know the Warhammer lore better than me, but didn't know who word bearers were.
Wait, what? Hold on, you're gonna tell me the story after.
I'll tell you. Yeah. We're not gonna go into it on the. We're not gonna go into it on
stream. I said after.
Yeah. All right. But anyway, continuing.
The Thousand Sons need more fanfare than just showing up like this. These are the Thousand Sons. The Ultramarines might be the main character, but the Thousand Sons are, way more interesting and have way better.
They're way more interesting.
The vast majority of them are just dust in fucking like suits.
You see, here's the problem. Bricky here is committing the common error of critics of criticizing, of using a subjective criticism as an objective one. Like
how cooler can they come out? They came out of a portal from hell and aimed their fucking bolters at you with the intent to kill.
Yeah, he is absolutely underselling the appearance of the Thousand Sons in the plot in order to try and support his argument. And again, I think X is cooler, therefore their appearance doesn't work for me. That is a subjective point, Bricky. You do not criticize art with subjective points. You criticize art. You criticize art with objective points. That is how you make an actual criticism, because you are giving the artist ways to improve, actual tangential ways he can do better. If you're criticizing based purely on subjective points, you are not being a critic. You are being entitled, and that is the important difference. You are saying, this is what I want from you to the artist, rather than this is how you can do better. And that's an important thing to remember when it comes to criticism.
It just seems like the whole thing is he's not a huge fan of Ultramarines. I'm not either, but I can appreciate them for what they are. It just seems like he wants a game about all Space Marines, but we're focusing on one character, which happens to be the Ultramarines.
He wants a game that's specifically about Chaos Space Marines, let's be honest. He's into the fucking Night Lords. He said Lorgar was right, and he's on about how the Thousand Sons are more interesting. Don't get me wrong, they've got some unique shit about them.
Yes.
But Rubric Marines are not interesting. They're dust coffins.
The Sorcerers are more interesting.
You know what? You want interest? You know what? Fine. I'm fine. You know what? I want a game where he plays Thousand Sons.
Okay.
It's called Dawn of War 4.
Okay, everyone. Denzel says criticism is 50% objective, 50% subjective. All right, you know what? I'm gonna hold on. I'm going to go look something up real quick.
Mixed champion? Yes, the Thousand Sons were a part of the legions which betrayed the Imperium during the Horus Heresy.
Yeah, Thousand Sons are one of the traitor legions. Okay,
Mixed champion in chat.
Okay, I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to bring up this this quote. Here, this is from an article by Roger Ebert. The rest of the article doesn't matter, but I'm going to quote this, and this is something I want you all to listen to and remember. So let's focus on those who seriously believe Transformers is one of the year's best films. Are these people wrong? Yes, they are wrong. I'm fond of the story I tell about Gene Siskel, when a so-called film critic defended a questionable review by saying, "After all, it's opinion." Gene told him, "There's a point where personal opinion shades off into error of fact. When you say The Valachi Papers is a better film than The Godfather, you are wrong." Quite true. We should respect differing opinions up to a certain point, and then it's time for the wise to blow the whistle. Sir, not only will I differ with what you say, I will certainly not fight to the death for your right to say it. Not me. You have to pick your fights. And that's it. That's it. You cannot defend bad criticism with opinion. Opinion has no place in criticism. Because at that point, like I said, you're not trying to help the artist improve. You are trying to get something out of the artist. And that is the problem. A good critic does not focus on opinion. Anyway, going forward in the review.
Hold on, I just want to reiterate again. It'd be cool if we could play as the Thousand Sons. It's called Dawn of War 4. We play as the Blood Ravens.
Yeah, no, okay. Why plays the lame blue nerds? We could play as the we could play as the cool relic stealing red nerds. Anyway,
mixed
just wait. That'll probably be a mod for Space Marine.
The Thousand Sons were a chapter of Space Marines under Magnus the Red. He was one of the Primarchs. They're a Chaos, Traitor Legion now. They have no additional chapters.
Yeah. But yeah, the reason the Thousand Sons don't talk is because they're literally dust inside their armor. They can't talk. Only the sorcerers can talk because they're not dust. But okay, continuing.
Their lore, we should have had a sorcerer with them shouting obscenities at Titus and crew, or watch them do some fucked up warp shit to people to really nail down.
Hey, remember when a couple seconds later you literally see one of the Rubric Marines like just coldly executing guardsmen who were begging for their lives?
Or heck, when you see one of the traitor guardsmen just suddenly say, "Zinch desires a change," and bursts into a skull that then aims itself at you.
Yeah, no, it's like he's literally talking about things that happen, but talking about it in a disingenuous way that basically
some of the mini bosses you fight or the main villain.
Anyway, yeah, he's talking about it in disingenuous ways that basically his method of speaking here exists to try to convince you something is wrong when the things he wants are in there, but he ignores that to try to add, minutia that is unnecessary.
How much of a threat they are. The entire opening mission was to establish how unstoppable the Tyranid force is, including a final last stand and Titus's entire squad and even himself technically dying. The Thousand Sons just show up, mog you, and then you kill them. You don't get any proper introduction until Imura about halfway through the game, and even he comes out of nowhere with zero character setup, which blows because Imura is like kind of a Chad. If they had a
Okay.
They introduced him at the beginning of the game, though.
The problem with Bricky's argument here about, they present the Tyranid as unstoppable. Why didn't they do that with the Thousand Sons? Let me tell you why. Because the Thousand Sons are I guess you could call it the out of left field antagonist. Because how do I word this? So yeah, the Tyranids are the main threat. You're not expecting the Thousand Sons to show up because they're working clandestine for most of the story. Like, even after the Thousand Sons show up, they don't become the primary threat even until after the mission where you first meet Imura. They're not the main threat. They're working in the background. So yeah, you're not going to have in a properly done story of this type. You're not going to have a story that shows how unstoppable they are, because unlike the Tyranids, because you're building to that point. You're building to the point where the Thousand Sons become that kind of threat. You don't just throw that point in halfway through the story. You build to it, and that's what the game does. Like, because remember, the story builds to a point where it's Titus and the Second Company, like, holding the last line there is to be held as the Thousand Suns just pour in endlessly from the warp. And it's like, that's how you're supposed to do this. You have to build to that point for the second antagonist. You can't just drop it into the middle of the story. That's bad pacing and that's bad storytelling. Subtly passes over Bricky's head. Absolutely. It's like, absolutely. It's like Bricky is not understanding that a faction that generally works through more subtlety is also going to work more subtly in a story. So Imura is not just going to throw everything he has at the Ultramarines from the get-go. He's gonna let his plot play out. And that's what happens. It works the way it should for the story they're trying to tell. Bricky is criticizing the way the story progresses. He's trying to criticize it for trying to be he's trying to criticize it for being something it's not trying to be, which is not how you criticize storytelling.
A secret agenda to make me join Tzeentch instead of the Ultramarines? Bitch, they succeeded, because even though he had little to no setup, every time that crazed sorcerer talked, I loved hearing it.
He's supposed to be a surprise villain, Bricky. So the way those things are written is you build them up after you introduce them, Bricky. Again, you are criticizing the story for doing something. For not doing something it's not trying to do. If it's not trying
you want to know who...
If it's not trying to do a thing, then it can't fail at a thing. You have to criticize it for what it's trying to attempt to be.
Hey, Bo, you want to know who's a surprise villain?
Who?
Yeah, you might never heard of it. Senator Armstrong, this no-name game called Metal Gear Rising.
All right, yeah,
Revengeance.
Oh yeah, that character.
Where he just shows up and then explains his whole philosophy. It's like, you know what? Yeah.
Literally one of the best villains ever written. Yeah. like, oh my God. Yeah, Senator Armstrong is a litmus test. Litmus test. Thank you. Litmus test of your ability to understand character writing and villain writing, and also actual political satire. Because remember, Senator Armstrong was right. Because that's
even Raiden admitted that in the end.
Yeah, no, that's the entire point. Senator Armstrong was right. That's the whole point of his character, and that Raiden fights him anyway. Because at this point, it's not about whether Armstrong is right or wrong. It's about it being personal between them.
Anyway, continue.
Wait,
let's not get have a Metal Gear tangent.
Yeah.
Love this dude. His actor owed rent, and his performance gave me all the ham that someone like Palpatine would give me. In fact, for the most part, there are a few random performances that worked out super well, and none of them were from the main cast. Like, listen to this.
Oh my God. No. I'm gonna let it play out.
Dude on the Baneblade.
You will give your life in the name of our holy emperor.
He goes hard no matter what.
Oh no, this man was absolutely a Chad.
We can all agree.
For the Holy Emperor! Take up the Canadian standard and hold it high!
Will know the name of their executioners.
That's Baneblade Bill. I really like Baneblade Bill. There's also Dreadnought Dave. Now watch him throw a
someone find his character.
Hold on. Let's keep going. Let's keep going on this one.
Hit a Helldrake in the face.
Let's fucking go, baby. Come on.
Also, no, his name is Dreadbro. Get it right.
Yeah.
He was now trapped in an eternal robot
coffin. My takeaway from all this is
missed stuff at the end.
Ricky has ADHD and really likes overly hammy characters who like show up and basically like chew the scenery like it's fucking like crackers and cheese, and they're a fucking mouse.
Yeah,
like a set piece does.
More why he enjoys Night Lords.
Yeah,
I don't
it
want to
is
hear the word
absolutely why he
again.
enjoys Night Lords and likes chaos. It's kind of the problem is that a lot of chaos fans are edgelords at their core, but then they start being like, "Oh, chaos was right," though. It's like, there's liking edge, and then there's losing yourself to the edge.
Yeah,
by the way, for the record, I'm pretty sure that Dreadnought throwing a fucking statue at a Helldrake counts as a set piece.
Oh no, yeah.
I don't want to hear set piece again.
That whole scene is a fucking set piece because it's like you literally have to do nothing. Dreadbro's got your back through the whole thing. like if you sit there and just shoot, like you don't even need to fight the dudes. You just need to stand there and just back up Dreadbro. Dreadbro's got it. He shreds everything in that scene. Like, oh my god!
I like firing with him.
Hey, but remember, but remember, the game has no set pieces, guys. It's just that because his definition of set piece is the game. To him, it's not a set piece because the game doesn't totally wrest control from you and give you no ability to do anything except maybe move forward and talk. It's like again, I'm back. I'm with you on this one, hun. I think he's just got ADHD and is horribly poisoned by the PS5 concept of a AAA game.
Going to get but didn't. You enter a Necron tomb complex down below, which plays into the importance of the black stone used to either amplify or negate the warp. Something that I knew about because of my knowledge of 40K, but I feel like people will be very lost on when they see it in the game. But you know,
so what? They don't.
You see what it does. In
the they want to know what it is. They can read
look,
the books.
In context, everything you kind of figure out what's going on pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's like you don't, because here's the problem though. You don't need to know about the Necrons for that. All you need to. It's like look, the story very clearly establishes they found shit that amplifies the warp underground, and. You know, this is what Imura is going for. It doesn't need to. You don't need a 40-page
force-fed plot.
Yeah, you don't need a 40-page dissertation on Necron lore to understand this. That's the problem. Now he's asking. Yeah, once again, he's asking for complexity that's not necessary. It's like it's like
the majority of people are going to be able to parse what's happening and what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's like thinking the G11 carbine is better than the AK-47 because it's got the fancy clockwork kraut bullshit on the inside. That's like, no, Bricky, that's not how this works. Simplicity is a good thing. It keeps the pacing going. It keeps the story clear. It keeps everything moving forward without having to stop. And you need that, especially in a video game. You need it in any story, really. When you start bogging things down with unnecessary complexity, you start losing the audience. And that's why games that try to be movies more than they try to be video games lose people. I mean, shit. Fucking a lot of movies lose people doing that, let alone video games trying to be movies.
I kind of thought I'd get
you know what? Hold on, Bo. I will say, you know what? I get it. The game didn't, or the game doesn't, or fucking expository dialogue for 30 minutes. So how are we supposed to know what's going on? That's the problem, guys. I figured it out. In my drunken stupor, I figured it out. It's the fact that the game's not giving us a 30-minute expository dialogue about everything going on that we're not allowed to know. Because the audience is retarded now.
Also, to be fair, explains why you're a Marine. You don't need to know why you're there. You just need to do your job.
Yeah, that too. All right, well, let's keep going.
Sorry.
My knowledge of 40K, but I feel like people will be very lost on when they see it in the game. But, you know, I kind of thought I'd get the chance to fight a few Necrons. I got really giddy when I saw it, but it was just window dressing for the missions and nothing.
So what if it's window dressing, Bricky? Again,
the mechanic has been set up there for a while, so obviously they would have cleared out.
If Necron showed up to fight you, that would just make things even more convoluted at that point. You don't need that. That's the problem.
And the mechanic has been trying to fuck with Blackstone for a while.
It's like he's bitching and complaining about like actual incredible background details. That's like, you know, for a complete novice to Warhammer, it's like, oh, this is cool. You know, for a Warhammer fan, like you remember the scene when we were playing Boobs, when we walked in, when I saw the Necron architecture, I was just like, oh, remember that during our playthrough, Boobs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't, you don't need to have Necrons show up and go on like a 20-minute splurge about the fact they're Necrons, okay? It's the bit with the Necron tomb world in the last level is good because it works for everyone. It actually manages to work for everyone because people who don't know anything about 40K are going to realize, oh, there's some deeper shit going on in this setting than I knew, but it's also not going to drag them away from like the plot and keep moving forward. For the 40K fans like us, it's going to be like, oh shit, that's Necrons, you know?
Yeah. Like I think everyone that's a 40K fan, especially in this Discord server, that played through that segment was like, oh shit, because Bo, you had the same reaction as I. Psyche had the same reaction as I. Rack had Psyche, Rack, and you all had the same reaction we saw Necron.
At first,
like, oh,
I walked down the fucking tunnel, and then I looked at a wall with hieroglyphs, and I was like, Psyche, is this some Necron shit? Because I saw the fucking staff and the hieroglyphs, and then I walked in and was like, what the fuck?
Technology.
Well, the problem with that, more participants is better. That's why Dawn of War 2 is awesome. I'm going to be honest, one of the biggest narrative problems with Dawn of War, especially like Dawn of War 1 got really bad at this, was literally just throwing every fucking faction at the wall in the campaign and just having it be an actual goddamn mess. Like,
I'd say the first campaign works.
Yeah, the first campaign where it's just orcs, chaos, and a brief appearance by the Eldar, like in Dawn of War, in the original Dawn of War 1, was good. And then, but when you got to
Winter
like
Assault works pretty well too.
And Winter Assault was similar, but except replace Space Marines with Guard. But the problem was that by the time you got to Dark Crusade and Soulstorm, you had like 6-7 factions vying for the story, and it's like at that point it's just like that's too much for a storyline. Like, a good Warhammer storyline will conserve its use of factions appearing, because then you can focus on the ones that matter the most and get a good story out of it. Throwing more shit at the wall just dilutes the just dilutes the mixture and makes it not as
really
good.
Need like a whole new faction, but a couple enemies here and there would have been kind of fun. Would have been a great reveal. Like, how do they keep this under wraps the whole time? The last hour of the game just goes off the rails. You get another soy jack pointing moment where Marnius
Okay, no, I'm gonna let it play out.
Fucking Calgar shows up, and the whole theater claps.
I clapped when I saw it.
He spends about 5 minutes on screen shouting orders, and then when the company assaults a demon Lord of Change, this happens.
Calgar built different.
This is so fucking funny to me. This Lord of Change, greater demon of Tzeentch, freezes everyone in time or whatever, except us because we hide behind a tank. I guess nobody else hid behind anything. Then Marnius Calgar passes an Ultra Kidney Stone and says, nah, fuck you, I win. And without reinforcements, walks headfirst into what is presumed to be a goddamn warp portal. A portal into the warp. The Immaterium.
It's this.
All right, Bolly, pause here. For the record, chapter masters will just do that. That's kind of their thing.
Yeah.
I mean, they're an old ass Space Marine at this point. They've gotten to the point where they tell chaos to fuck off.
I want to point out the funny thing here. Look, this is Bricky in the middle of criticizing this scene, right? He doesn't understand how Calgar shrugged off the spell. Look carefully at the screen. What do you see?
You clearly see the Iron Halo is active. And Calgar's like, if I remember correctly, but I will let you correct me. Calgar has a special halo.
I believe he does, yes.
It is a unique, it's a incredibly special Iron Halo.
Yeah, it's like
I just find the fucking still you guys are on really funny because it looks like he's saying "nah" to Bricky and shooting him in the fucking head.
Oh, hold up.
Real.
I'm screen capping that.
Turn that into a meme.
I already got you, dog.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? This is
also on the thing of hiding behind a tank.
Hold on.
Most people are focused on battle, and when it comes to magic, line of sight is important typically in pretty much every bit of
everything.
Everything, yeah.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna.
Unless it's a ritual
you know what? This might be the screen cap for when I put this on YouTube. Right here. Just nah. Just nah. Just nah. Hold on. Let me put that in the Discord. So
yeah, Captain.
Let me
Iron Halo of magic ain't real nerd.
Yeah, there we go. Right, yeah, I will pick that up for putting this on YouTube later because holy shit.
Well,
just
it's like that's the thing. When it comes to magic, you need a target, otherwise it's just wild energy.
It's like, but still, it's like, but no, more to the point. He's bitching about something that answers his question if he just pays attention for a couple seconds.
Yeah, like it's very clear the Iron Halo is active. Even barring the fact you can see it glowing, you can see the energy of it reflect off of the Iron Halo.
Yeah, you can.
There's also something to note about willpower being a common thing in Warhammer.
But again, you see the spell go around the Iron Halo field. It's like this is Bricky, pay attention. You're complaining the story is too simple for you, but then the simplest shit you completely ignore and then act like, that's a plot. No. That's a plot hole. No, it's like open your eyes. Fuck.
Also, again, a chapter master squaring up to anything, they just kind of do that.
Yeah,
like, I don't know, Marnius Calgar seeing a Swarm Lord and an obvious trap, still like, I'd fight it.
Yeah, no.
By the time he ripped off a Avatar of Korn's head.
No, it wasn't Avatar. It was you're thinking of the comic, and it was a
Lord of Skulls.
Lord of Skulls, yeah. Oh, don't forget, Marnius Calgar sees a fucking Avatar of Cain coming at him one time, and was just like, nah, I'd win, and 1v1s it, you know.
Calgar is strong as fuck.
Get into the
I love my chapter master. He'll beat the fuck out of anything.
But remember, High Marshal Helbrecht sees Imhotep the Storm Lord there, and just like, nah, I'd win, and goes and duels him, loses a hand in the process, but no fear, go in and fight. Chapter masters are just like this. That's how they. That's how they do things.
I mean, remember,
and also here's the thing: shit is not over. They are not stopping until it is done and the enemy dead.
There's a reason old Imperial Fist chapter masters last about one codex.
Fucking chapter master for the goddamn I can't remember. Psyker guys is fucking stuck in the goddamn warp at all times. Too,
right, yeah.
Fucking meant to be against
them. Grey Knights, yeah.
Oh wait, yeah, Calgar Knights.
Grandmaster, but it's Grandmaster is the title, but it's effectively the same thing. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But Black Templars are just built different. No, it's not just Black Templars. Chapter masters like a chapter master seeing the source of the threat on the battlefield will consider that I'm gonna like fuck you.
They use their oath of moment.
Yeah, no. A chapter master seeing the source of the threat on the battlefield will go full fucking Sam Hyde on that shit. Yeah,
like chapter masters. You don't just become the chapter master. You earn that title. Yeah. That is a title that has severe weight. The only time that someone kind of quote unquote just became the chapter master was Luis Dante. But he's also a chapter master for 1,000 years. I think he earned his spot.
Yeah. Remember.
Even though he's older than 1,000.
Well, remember. Dante before he crossed the Rubicon was also dying. Like he was approaching the age limit of a space marine, and was like had trouble with regenerating his wounds, and at the devastation he's considered for a while he was considered too valuable to undergo the Rubicon because it might kill him, right? And they can't lose him. Even then, with all of that, with the Swarm Lord bearing down, you know what Dante at the devastation of Baal? You know what Dante did?
Don't spoil it. I want that book. Hold up.
No, I'm not. It's not.
Stiffen yourself.
Yeah, it's not. Okay. It's not really a spoiler. It's like one of those things you already know happens. No, he's like, that's the Swarm Lord. If we stop that, we can stop the Tyranids. He went and fought it.
I love Dante.
Yeah,
chapter masters favor the death of the enemy above all else.
Yeah, like they will
more specifically the source of the threat.
Yeah, it is a chapter master's duty to square up like that. Like Calgar's doing his job here, and Bricky just doesn't realize that.
I wasn't aware that the Iron Halo actually did anything.
Yeah, it generates basically an energy field that protects the wearer.
And by the way, they actually explain in the books why it's not just always on. It's actually a cool reason. It is very taxing on the armor systems.
Yep.
I mean, that
in Ren's world, there is a part where it's activated by just purely thinking about activating it. You fucking Pedro Cantor does it. It saves his life in a part of Ren's world, but it goes into the fact that while it's active, your power armor is about to overload.
Yeah, you're basically,
here's the thing,
you're basically redlining your armor while you're using it.
Calgar knows that they're 30 minutes to midnight. He knows that unless something is done, the world is lost and probably the whole sector.
Yeah, Denzel, you're approaching this from like the perspective of like the kind of threats that soldiers face in reality, and not the kind of shit they have to face in 40K. Like if Calgar doesn't go in there, then reality might get prolapsed and like rip a new Eye of Terror open or something like that.
Especially with what they're dealing with.
Like in this scenario, there's a warp rift open, constantly spilling in. That's why the Lord of Change shows up in a massive form.
Yeah.
And worse, that warp rift, thanks to that Blackstone pillar they have control of with the relic, is growing every second.
Okay, Denzel, I thought you played this. I'm sorry, I thought you played this. Yeah, he didn't know. He didn't know. Like, yeah, no, seriously.
That's understandable.
We thought you had played the game.
No, at this point,
sorry, homie.
Yeah, no, at this point in the game, in the storyline, they're literally facing like
It is 30 seconds to midnight.
Yeah, they're facing a multi-sector level apocalypse at this point in the story if they don't do something. So yeah, that's like the stakes of the story going on right now. I thought you knew this. I'm a dumbass, and I owe you an apology.
It's a spoiler warning, though. So
he has just fought the hell.
We apologize for kind of going off for thinking you were not.
Yeah.
You were arguing in bad faith.
That was a dumb assumption on my part. I'll take that L. I mean, L.
You already gave the spoiler warning, so we assumed anyone was either finished the game or okay with spoilers.
Yeah, because we do have the spoiler warning on the tag. But all right, let's keep going. We're gonna be here all day. We're already being here all day.
And
you know what I mean?
Without reinforcements, walks headfirst into what is presumed to be a
goddamn
warp portal. A portal into the warp.
Here's the point, though.
Wait.
It's this. The Immaterium.
Keep
if
watching.
It is, we must move quickly. To where?
No. Don't pass go. Don't collect your corpse starch. The fuck you mean the warp? Ain't no way you in the warp, because so far your video game has been very faithful to the source material and very accurate to almost every single part of the Warhammer universe. The only person who braves the warp is Calgar Tangerine Drago, and he is an insane person who eats suns, and that we all agree is stupid that he can
ETS reference.
Oh, okay, let it play out.
Survive in the warp, but this.
Okay. Here's a couple of problems here with your argument, Bricky. One, No, Calgar Drago is cool. Fuck you. 2. Yeah, no, that's Bricky. That's not how this works. That's not how this works.
Hold up, real quick. Denziel. Yeah, that entire book is set in the warp.
Remember, the threat of the Immaterium is not the Immaterium itself. It is what lives in that thing.
Yeah.
No. Hey, real quick, Bricky. Why is Calgar Drago in the warp? It's not because he likes it. He doesn't vacation there. He doesn't have a summer home in the warp. No. He's cursed there. Yeah. But it's more of a situation of you're not locked in here with him.
No. Yeah, no, Denzel, absolutely. It's the infuriating thing about this bit. It's not just the fact that he is like criticizing the game for getting the lore wrong when it's not getting the lore wrong. It's that Bricky has admitted to having read a book that explains that what he is watching in Space Marine 2 is entirely possible, and that's the book Dead Sky Black Sun, also known as the Demunculaba book, which takes place on a demon world in the warp.
Also, isn't it surprisingly common for people to just, get into the warp, no Gellerfield, and then get out?
Oh, hey, guess what?
Space Marines especially?
Oh, no. Let me do you one better. Saint Celestine in Celestine, not Celestine the Living Saint, the audio drama, the one I really like that Gav Thorpe did, ironically enough. Fucking Our Martyred Lady in Saint Celestine and Our Martyred Lady. It's like their ship is like can't see the Astronomicon because of like a warp storm, and they're basically like oh no, we can't see the Astronomicon, we're fucked. And she's basically just like, hold my beer, and vents herself out the airlock into the warp.
Admittedly, she's a living saint.
But that's Saint Celestine. She's a different. She's a living saint.
Yeah. Well, she goes out into the warp and channels her power and basically dispels like the warp storm around them and allows them to see the Astronomicon. It's like,
wait a minute.
It's like,
hold up.
Bricky forgot about the Red Thirst.
There is no way Bricky forgot about the Black Rage, the Red Thirst. You are lying to me. Sir, you are lying to me.
No. You know what? After watching this video, I believe it.
I am gonna suffer.
Has it read Horus Rising or any of the Horus?
I mean, yeah.
Okay,
right. Yeah. Okay. Psyche makes a good point. He did criticize lore from. He did criticize the Great Crusade as being like evil and cruel toward humans, when based on an incident from a book he didn't read that he had only a quarter of an understanding of. So
hey, Psyche, can I quickly tell you something?
What were the Rangdan doing to humans?
Okay, Psyche.
Psyche, I have a message for you, buddy. On our next suffering, me and you together, you know what's next on our docket, right, buddy?
Oh,
we're gonna watch it. We're gonna go watch that. We're gonna go watch that next time we both have free time.
Oh my god. Why do you do this to yourself, Boos? Why are you doing this to me? You suggested this.
We could just make this a thing. We could go through Bricky's lore videos and point out shit.
No, we can't just do it to Bricky.
No, I'm not going to do
that.
Okay, first of all, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to become a reaction Andy, but and plus, I don't want to base my success off someone else's shit, as a regular thing. But still, it's like, anyway, let's keep going. So you can survive in the warp. People have done it before in other books, Bricky. Read your fucking lore. We're going to keep going.
I mean, it has to be some kind of Zinch bullshittery, right? Because if it was truly the warp, we would all be atomic dust in seconds. It's one of those types of jump the shark moments that even if you aren't a massive fan of Warhammer, you can look at that and be like, that's not right. There's no way that's right. In fact, it's so not right that I'm almost more keen on the idea that it's supposed to be some kind of Zinch shenanigans, and in a way they could write themselves.
Bricky, you literally read a book where this happens. Shut the fuck up. You read Dead Sky Black Sun. You know this is possible. Just...
It's also not the first game that they've done that. Kato when Bulk Gun did all this for like half the game, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he literally goes into the warp multiple times on Graya.
Anyway.
Someone taking the IP of Warhammer and doing a bungle that badly. Despite this, you fight a
Bricky. You smugly praised female custodes being a thing, and now you're trying to argue that like. I came around to the idea, but that was after they actually looked like they were going to make a good character that was a female custodian, unlike that bitch Kesh from the Codex. But Bricky, you just smugly accepted it, and now you're including the whole "they've always been there" thing, and now you're going to lecture other people about the lore, getting the lore wrong. Shut the fuck up.
A genuinely pretty good boss fight, actually.
Lord Dilbus, yes, he is.
Or to change, actually quite fun. You break the MacGuffin through sheer force of manly screaming, and you escape. The end of the game does feel super rushed as Imura dies, but she can never really tell. And then you come back to get promoted and get a stern talking to from the chaplain, who
you might, if y'all haven't spoiled for the end, you might want to look away. Just gonna say, you have 3 seconds to do so. 3, 2, 1, unpausing.
I will show no mercy.
Oh, he's going to talk about this for a minute.
He does really show face of surprise.
I am 2 scenes in, and I'm calling something right now. I don't want to spoil anybody, so don't tell me one way or the other. The fucking chaplain, who is like super weird in the opening scene, is going to be the traitor from the first game.
Leandros?
Yeah.
Soy Jack pointing moment, let's go! Much like Brad, this is also something I called almost immediately at the beginning, but I suppose it's still kind of cool to have that reference. And also, Leandros would absolutely become a chaplain with how uptight he is. Abomination. But the campaign ends very open-ended with a clear and obvious tease for a sequel and what comes next. I know I'm bitching a lot for this
shit, Bricky.
6 out of 10 campaign, but that 6
out of 10 campaign. No.
Actually, can you imagine actually? What was the magazine that gave this a lower score than Gollum? Which magazine was that?
GameSpot.
GameSpot, whatever the fuck.
Okay.
Imagine
real quick.
IGN. It was IGN. Imagine agreeing with IGN and giving it the same fucking score. Oh, imagine doing that unironically.
Real quick for our panel, we've all played it. What does everyone rate it?
Flat 7.
Honestly, unironic 10.
Thank you.
9.
And it's not even the lore reasons. It's
I haven't experienced the whole thing, but I thought it was like a really good campaign. So 9.
It's a 20. It's a 20, motherfucker.
Okay,
unbiased review 20. Totally unbiased.
As the Ultramarine fanboy.
Shut up.
Hey, imagine if your dad had shown up in the final cutscene.
He would have came.
Bo, unironically, I would have. I would have had to go find new pants.
Listen, no.
Before my new pants.
Worse,
guys, pause the game really quick.
Boobs had been playing. No, it would have been worse if Boobs had played the game and heard Gilliman say to him, "I am proud of you, my son."
That's all I want. That's all I've ever wanted in my life. That's something I'll never experience.
What, Gilliman saying he's proud of you? Hey, you know what? Yeah. Hey, you know what? Look, I'll settle for the Emperor telling Titus, "Rise, son of Gilliman."
Yeah, or
I'm starting to think that might be the Emperor.
To say you did good.
Yeah. Anyway, continuing.
The 10 comes almost entirely from how good the gameplay sections are.
But you said the gameplay was bad,
bloody, gory, delicious mess.
You said the gameplay was bad.
Anything other than Ultramarines, I bet it would be more interesting. But there's just so many damn odd choices in this game. Why is Calgar here? He arrives for 10 minutes and then needs rescuing. It's
why is Calgar there?
A fan service
moment.
Hey,
real quick, Bo, can you pause?
Yeah.
Let me read off his full title.
Okay.
Lord Defender of Macrog, Chapter Master Martius Demetrius Calgar. No, that's Titus' first name. What's up, Rack? I forgot his middle name. Fuck, hold on. No, I'm mad. I can't remember.
That one of the missions that we did was to try and call Calgar to come help.
Yeah. Now Bricky's just straight up deliberately missing story beats now for the sake of his argument, because
it's Marnius Augustus Calgar.
Okay, but no, it's
of
like,
course it's
but okay, but it's like no. Bricky is deliberately ignoring story beats now to try and support his argument. They tell you Calgar was there while you were undergoing the Rubicon Primaris and was the guy who said you're back in the Ultramarines. Then he had to leave, but wasn't like going far. So when the message and then when you send the message out, because remember, the whole point of what Imra is trying to do is kill Calgar by luring him there. So the message got sent, and like Calgar showed up, like Bricky.
Ascend.
Yeah, Bricky. All of this happened in the story. I made the comparison to the guys in the Discord, but I'm gonna make it here too. Bricky sounds like the kind of guy who skipped every cutscene in Final Fantasy XIV and then bitched about the story being bad.
For real.
I didn't hear that part, but that's pretty funny.
That is what he's doing here. He straight up didn't pay attention to the story and is now being like, well, the story's bad. It was like, well, no shit, you didn't pay attention. You don't know what the story is. Of course you're going to think it's bad. You don't know what it is. You clearly we're gonna keep going. Hold on.
Think a good one.
I'm sorry,
What
I love
happened
that
to
Marty's
the Nids?
Calgar's middle
Where
name's
did they go?
Augustus.
What happened? We didn't stop the invasion at all. They're still here. We just.
Oh my. Okay.
Okay. One splinter
fleet. It is a splinter fleet. It is a splinter fleet. It is a small splinter fleet, not a full hive fleet. It had exactly one hive tyrant to its name. That is the whole point of the decapitation co-op mission. And for a fact that is going on in the background, and that once you kill the hive tyrant, the Tyranids ground forces are in a complete disarray and routed. They're no longer a threat. They're just mindless animals with no coordination that can be just picked off. Like that's the whole point of sending Team B after the hive tyrant. And even if you don't play the co-op mission, that is a factor of the level. They describe this going into it, and when it happens, because you literally watch those 3 Carnifexes that jump, you have a stroke and die when the hive tyrant dies. Like, keep going.
Forget about them. For the Thousand Suns instead, halfway through the game, we just kind of say, we'll deal with that later. And they never come back to it. Who the hell was Amura?
Oh my god, you just showed the hive tyrant mission! You just showed the mission where you kill the hive tyrant! This is actually infuriating. This is actually fucking infuriating.
Apparently, there's like a tiny bit of him in a book somewhere, but I mean, I've read a lot of 40k books, and I haven't heard about this guy. And why was he not given?
Bricky, you said you've read 30 of them. There's hundreds.
It's like the first game. Nemiroth didn't fucking exist. He's just some random warband leader
Nemiroth
who wants to ascend
really
to
does
fucking
just
demon
show up.
prince.
Yeah, he just.
Well, no, Racky hate. That's a 6 out of 10. Bad game, remember?
Oh my god.
Any backstory in the game for people who didn't read that specific book.
Imra doesn't even if he had a backstory in another book, all you need to know about him is that his entire purpose here is to rip a hole in the warp for Zeech and kill Calgar. You don't need more than that. You're asking for fucking 20-minute character development scenes that aren't necessary and will just hurt the whatever.
Even mentioned earlier, normally in a story you establish the villain early on and you kind of proliferate.
You don't have to establish the villain. You can have a villain pop up out of nowhere. Surprise! Sudden appearance villains are a thing in fiction, Bricky. Since the beginning of time. Hold on. Since the beginning of the written word.
Remember the Nozick mission?
Yeah.
His name is literally painted on the outside of that shit, dog.
I mean, yeah, but hey, look. Bricky very clearly skipped the cutscenes, okay? And that's the game. Yeah. Listen. Tourists like Bricky skipping the cutscenes of the game is a failure of the game designer, not the player. Clearly.
Tourist. I think he's just really bad at reading.
No, I'll call him a tourist. I'll call him a fucking tourist. Okay. I don't give a shit.
Rate them through the story a bit.
I mean, look, you're gonna tell me the guy makes an Eldar episode of his fucking lore show and is just not talking about Eldar lore? and just shitting on the Eldar. Like, no, that's some tourist activity.
Spends 30 minutes to a Ferris.
What was up with generic Marine dude number 2's angry rampage? It was never brought up again. He had a whole board.
What do you mean it wasn't brought up again? It's because he was born on fucking Calth and saw what Chaos did to Calth. You on
Calth bit.
You just answered. He just answered his own fucking question.
Hold up. Let him keep going.
Which is genuinely interesting because Calth happened 10,000 years ago, and a lot of Primaris Marines are in stasis for 10,000 years. So this dude was born in like the heresy. He was a kid during the Horus heresy, and then just was stasified for the rest of the time. Like, that's fascinating. It's never brought up. Wait, hold on.
You know what's more? We're about to get to a funny bit. You know what's more fascinating? The fact he was unfrozen. The fact he was a gray shield.
Yeah.
What's a gray shield? I don't really know that.
They were.
So Gilliman made a legion. That's how I describe it. You understand what Space Marines or legions were? Yeah, Gilliman made his own. They were of all chapters, but Gilliman made his own, and they're great. They were awesome. He was a part of that.
Look, okay, I'm gonna, before we go forward, okay, so here's the thing, Bricky, with that you're missing here. The scene where he reveals that he was from Calth is supposed to be when the squad begins to pick itself up again after their lowest moment, when Gadriel is literally trying to shoot Titus. Because Chiron takes the step to open up about himself and show trust to his squad mates, and that's the hinging point of the squad beginning to trust each other again. That's the purpose of him revealing that. And the reason he went on that rampage is also because his best buddy died. You remember the thing you bitched about earlier? Remember that? Yeah, no, that was important. Because that was the source of why he fucking raged out that way. And then, and then on top of that, it's the fact that he was literally, he saw the word bearers burn Calth. I cannot stress this enough. His homeworld was burned by chaos. This man has anger toward chaos. Okay, it's like you're bitching. Why would he hate chaos so much? Almost because he watched his homeworld burn at the hands of chaos during the Horus heresy. Do you not know what happened on Calth? Oh my fucking god!
Wait a minute. Earlier in the video, when he's talking about it, and I quote, "I've read over 30 books."
There are 300.
The B-roll background. Hold on. The B-roll background footage is Betrayer.
Yeah.
What? The B-roll background footage has him talking about the cover of Betrayal. Hey, Bo. What book is Calth?
I can't.
No, hold on. I'll be honest. It could have just been B-roll where he was talking about 40k books. But if he really read that book where it's about the Battle of Calth, it is just gonna be like, why does he? Bricky.
Bro, I fucking can't with this shit. Oh my god. I fucking can't with this shit.
Now, dog.
Okay, let's let him cook. Let him cook.
Let him cook.
Why did Titus have like weird, strange brain shittery when he saw the Thousand Suns runes when they killed the?
He wasn't looking at the runes. He was looking at he was looking at the fucking power crystal he physically held in his hand last game, and is basically, my head is actually in my hands right now. Oh my god.
Hey, Bo, question.
What?
Would you rather watch this or Captain Marvel?
I'd rather watch Captain Marvel at this rate. Holy fuck.
Damn. That's saying something too. He fucking hated Captain Marvel.
Hey, remember, we turned that movie off a third of the way through because I was like, fuck this shit. It's not canon as far as I'm concerned. I'd rather be watching that. At least that could be funny and when we make fun of it. But this is painful. Okay. Let him cook.
Magos way in the beginning and pass out, and then they never brought that up again. Wait, what happened to him?
Hey, Bricky, it's almost like that's
coming home to see you guys still on this video and seeing Bo lose it.
Hey hipster, how you doing? Bricky did not write this episode. He had one of his employees write the video, and just that or AI, I don't know which. But no, it's like, hey Bricky, guess what? It's almost like the reason he didn't bring it up again is because he's trying to not talk about his very, very, very storied past with a back incident, with an incident that got him, tortured by the Inquisition. And it ended up with him becoming a Black Shield. It's almost like there's a whole character arc where Titus doesn't want to open up to his squad about his past, and it causes tension. It's almost like there was a ton of character development you didn't pay attention to during this game. Okay, I'm done for now.
I don't think he paid attention to the game, dog.
Okay, I'm done for now. Okay, let him cook.
Was it like effect from old chaos crap? Was there something clouding his mind? Why did he pass out? Was it just to provide more suspicion for Gadriel to try to kill him later on? He just knocks out and it's never brought up again. If it's a chaos inflicted thing, why did it never happen to him later? What was that? The seeds were sown for some really cool stuff. There genuinely could have been a lot of awesome characterization, but it just falls flat. It's set up with little to no payoff and an excuse to go from place to place and murder the shit out of it. And hey, murdering the shit out of it is great, but it doesn't make a great narrative. And I know Warhammer fans are never happy. I get it, but even if I wasn't a fan,
well, no, Bricky, fuck you. You're not.
I'm pretty sure the average Warhammer fan enjoyed this game. Hey, bro, what I just said. Just wait.
Heck, the average person who played this game was happy.
Psyche, shush. Just wait.
Okay.
Fan of the source material, it still just isn't it. The dialogue, the pacing, all of it. You will play it one time and never again, unless you're going for some hard mode achievement or something, and considering that there is no experience or progression for playing the campaign, I don't know why you'd bother. Also, just a side note, this is not a negative, it's just kind of a thing that would have been cool. You get the golden laurels on the end of the campaign for your helmet. Wouldn't it have been kind of neat if like the title screen helmet, once you beat the campaign, also had the golden laurels on it?
As well.
You know what, Bricky? That is the first good criticism we've had this whole fucking video.
Guys, he fucking cooked. He cooked well.
Okay. Look. His cooking is dog shit, but at least he used the right amount of salt. Anyway.
Cool. Small touch. It would have been kind of sweet. One thing that has become particularly fascinating with discussion around the campaign is the disconnect I've noticed between opinions on it. In the beginning, it seemed like most people I spoke to, most with review codes, most other 40K lore fans like myself, like the other members of my podcast and friends of the podcast, all agreed that the campaign had some
games are good for one.
He's talking about DK and Shy. Shy is a raging cunt, and DK is a fucking idiot.
Yeah, like the whole thing is DK doesn't know shit about 40K, and Shy is not a 40K fan. I can tell.
For the record, Shy hates me, so I don't care.
No.
She's specific. I am the reason they had to remove emotes from that server.
Yeah, we kind of
hold that as a W.
That story you were told?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Me, him, and one other person kept posting a friend's emote, which was just a fucking NCR character, but with his face plastered on it. And they just got mad about it.
Yep.
Man,
that was who?
Oh, look, all I know is all I know about Shy is that Shy was part of the Bitshammer Blockbot thing, because I've never communicated with Shy, and I'm blocked by them, her. I don't know what the hell Shy is, but DK's a fucking idiot. I mean, on the one hand, like, yeah, he didn't know anything about 40K, but he tries to ride so hard in the fact that I don't know anything about 40K, despite supposedly learning a lot about 40K. It's like, whatever.
Pretty fun moments, but the narrative and characterization was lacking. It was almost a unanimous agreement that it was a bit lackluster, but
no, it's not. Bricky.
He's talking about reviewer. Hold on, Bo.
What?
Let me clarify. He's talking about his reviewer friends that all got the review codes. DK, Shy, all of them. Those people.
IGN.
Keep this in mind. Just let it play.
Okay.
still fun to play through. But then the game came out and general audiences seem to be completely separate on the overall feelings of the campaign.
Because the game's fun, you retard! I'm sorry!
Interesting to talk about than debating the actual merit of the campaign itself. Why is there that disconnect? Could it be that because knowing 40k lore is basically a job, I've been exposed to so much of it, and therefore something of this caliber?
Bricky, you can't even get the fucking basic shit we're talking about here right. What do you want? You're gonna try and hold yourself up as an expert. No, Bricky, the problem is the game is good and you're a contrarian fuckwit. That's the problem. That's the problem here, Bricky. The problem is you didn't pay attention to the story. The problem is your idea of a good game is fucking poisoned by PS5 sad dad over the shoulder walkie simulators. That's your problem, Bricky. Holy the problem isn't with the game or with the people who enjoyed it. The problem is with you. You are the problem.
Isn't particularly impressive to me anymore? Is it the fact that it's not just the excitement of getting a high quality 40k game, which is what most people wanted in general, regardless of the strength of its story? Where is that disconnect present? And I guess
I don't know how to tell you this. I went into the story super critical. I was prepared to be super critical of the story, especially with, modern audiences bullshit being what it is, Like, believe me, I was prepared to eviscerate this game.
Why is it there is a question that I find far more interesting than, whether or not Titus is a good character or something like that. Now,
so you don't care about the game. Okay, you admit it. You admit it. You don't actually care about the game.
That I have thoroughly made you assume that I despise this game. Let's bring us back into something more positive.
Pause it. Look at the current time left spent in the video.
30 minutes. 30 minutes.
That's how long he's spent ripping apart Space Marine 2.
Yeah.
His campaign.
I like Mixed Champion. This Bricky guy seems like a retard.
hey, Mixed, you know what? Based.
It seems like Mixed is very new to 40k, so my suggestion, if you see a bit of lore that's interesting, check it out on Lexicanum. It's a
Mixed, join our Discord. You will learn 40k lore and you will like it.
Yeah,
you're about to be SpongeBob to Poseidon.
I will shove my recommended starting 40k novels down your throat, and you will enjoy them.
Yeah, or just read books.
Look, Mixed Champion, I will look. As someone that has only been into Warhammer for about I'd say 4 years, actually. About 4 years at this point. Read Horus Rising.
I actually don't recommend Horus Heresy to start, but Horus Rising is a good book.
Horus Rising is the first ever novel I read in 40k.
All right. Okay, guys. Bricky,
wait, boobs not chilling for Rin's World? What is this?
Okay, Bricky has positive things to say. Oh boy.
The mode I originally thought you would be playing the most. The co-op missions. So, co-op is comprised of 6 missions in total at time of recording, and some on their way afterwards. This is where the most amount of Space Marine build, crafting, and customization will come from. Each mission is a side mission that Titus tasks other squads with doing during the campaign. Good example is taking down a Tyranid Hive Tyrant to shatter swarm cohesion, or blowing up a Promethean refinery to slow them down.
Hey, guess what? He just mentioned the end goal of the Hive Tyrant mission. It's almost like that's an important story bit you left out.
The Horus Heresy is a multi-book thing in Champion.
Yeah, Horus Heresy is like damn near 120 books in its
56 books. Well, it's 56 mainline books.
56. I mean, look, I listen. I count 56 like mainline books, and then fucking what is it? 10 Siege of Terra books. Like that's the the Siege of Terra is basically the Horus Heresy, the final season essentially.
Champion, just a heads up, if you're getting to 40k in any facet,
read
your
Ren's World.
wallet is going to hate you.
Read Ren's World. It's right there. Read Ren's World.
Yeah,
read it.
I mean, look, I'll say my recommended books for anyone getting new into 40k are Eisenhorn Xenos, First and Only, Hell's Reach, Rin's World, and For the Emperor. Those books. They're all five of them are good starting books that like throw you in with Imperium factions against various other factions. And on top of that, you know, they're all good individual stories too. And on top of that, Eisenhorn Xenos, First and Only, and For the Emperor start respectively the Eisenhorn Saga, the Gaunt's Ghost series, and the Caiaphas Cain series, which are all good series. So yeah. That's why I recommend those.
Between 6 classes, which are all
Caiaphas
technically
Cain
characters of their own, and go through these missions doing the various objectives. Complete it, and you earn experience and these gold coin currency things you use to level up your character. I'm sure they have a name, but I'm calling them gold coins. Now, these missions have 4 difficulty levels, and playing them rewards you with stuff based on those levels specifically, including more armory data, more experience, and more coins. What I find the most fascinating about this whole system is that the leveling for the game is not selective in its build crafting, but rather
Amazon's actually
linear.
not too bad for getting books.
Go ahead and pick which perk out of 3 in each column, but weapons are complete and immediate upgrades every time. You use a weapon a certain amount, master it, get a point to put in its perk tree, and then using the armory data can get a better version of that weapon. It's not, this gun has certain perks that do better with my build. It's literally, this gun does straight up
Actually,
more
there,
damage.
if you
or
are
has
playing
less
heavy, there is.
Yeah.
The heavy class is actually tuned around the different weapons. Fun fact, Bricky. I know if you played the game, you would have learned this. Especially if you're playing heavy class, which is on screen.
Or heck,
seriously,
someone who's been
heavy
leveling
player.
sniper as late. There are perks that work specifically with bolt sniper or / carbine, or purely the las fusel.
Yeah, it's like. Plus, like, I mean...
Or heck, assault, you have perks that work only with your hammer.
I'm going to point out, too, Bricky, this does not need to be a fucking Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League loot Destiny fucking looter shooter thing. It doesn't need to be that. It doesn't need to... You don't need to have, like, fucking... you don't need to, like, say, kill a Neurothrope and then just vomits up fucking guns you loot. It doesn't need to work that way. There's nothing wrong with a game that is just, its upgrade system is simple. It's like,
recoil or more
fuck
ammo capacity.
Me.
And as you level them up, the perks continue to give you more of that. Some of the perks
I
are
apologize
just
for putting that
long-ass
link in your chat,
so
Bo.
you soon realize that the higher difficulties are harder.
Oh, that's fine.
Yes,
that's fine,
enemies
dude.
have more health and do more damage, but you'll also be doing more damage as well. So the progression...
Oh, I want to point out, this stream is in no way sponsored by Games Workshop or Black Library, because Boob's putting that link in there to Audible. I'm just saying, Rin's World is a good fucking book.
It is a great book. Always start with Rin's World. It's the best book.
Where the higher difficulties require a level of fancy weapons to loot, build crafting specifics, and really hyper-focused gameplay.
Oh shit, Bo, can I say something real quick?
What's that?
It's not about what we're talking about. Holy shit, I was not expecting that dark moment with the Nova Marines.
Oh, I'm sure nobody was. That's the thing.
Dude, that shit's like out
it's
of
not a sign of being a scrub,
left
that's
field.
just the point. And then you earn your way up through linear forms of power. And for the most part, it's a good time, but it's a good time if you have people to play with. There is, of course, matchmaking for the missions, but I think this game is the best when you can shoot the ship and do this in the background. It's a very relaxed game. You fight and kill and revel in the gore, but even at the highest levels, you don't need to lock in that hard. A little bit, but nothing else.
Bricky is not.
I want to say something real quick.
Bricky is not played above difficulty 2, and I can tell.
No, you don't really have to lock in that hard. I was going on a tangent while going through difficulty 3. I will say this: do not get physical books unless they are reprints. GW doesn't like physical books for some fucking reason. Just do the audiobooks. It's the best way to do them. You get a really good experience. Audible readers are genuinely good especially for 40K. They have very good readers over at Black Library. Just, if you need a spot, go to the Black Library website, check it out there. Don't do it through, unless you're trying to get the audiobook, don't really do it through any other source.
Yeah. Okay.
astronomical. As
one of the
far as
worst
the
part
missions
about
go,
missions,
they vary in quality a
combat
decent
patrol,
amount. What they are
accurate
missing more than
Zangors.
anything is more actionable items, more things to do in general. The best mission to me by a country mile is the Helldrake mission because there are multiple mechanics. Dodging flame by going house to house, or building to building, often fighting a Thousand Suns Hellbrute, and then a little raid mechanic at the end to kill the Helldrake. It actually has decent player input, and it's a blast. Beneath that is the Hive Tyrant mission, because fighting the Hive Tyrant actually makes me need to lock in at times, and the rest of the mission is pretty decent too.
So it's like, it's not that good because you don't need to lock in. Oh, this boss is bad because I need to lock in. Bricky, make up your fucking mind.
But outside of that, the rest is rather generic and samey. Nothing really stands out as being
Inferno
bad,
is
but
great.
nothing really stands out as being
Lindsay,
good
I know what you're trying to
start
do with
show
getting
their
to read
head,
the
though, when
Iron
it
Warrior
comes to
novels, and I
progression
approve.
itself. Now, I imagine for a ton of people, the draw for this game is to make your own Space Marine to mess around with. Salamanders, Raven Guard, White Scars, Dark Angels, all of those people hyped to build their own special Space Marine and trudge around the map with them,
good, but I
killing
know you're
enemies
trying to
of
get them to
humanity.
find
Now,
out a
let's say
specific
you
thing.
want to be a White Scar, even though you don't have
Do we
a
even need to
motorcycle,
watch the
which
rest of
does
this?
blow. Well, you can
Hold
navigate to the White Scar emblem, click it, and then realize in order to get all the parts for that, you need to unlock individual bits first before you can get the rest. Emblem first, then color, and then the rest one after the other.
Oh,
This
that's
is the way
great.
it is for
learn
everything.
to
You have
pirate.
to unlock the Iron Hands emblem before you unlock the Iron Hands color, so on and so forth. Which is a bit annoying at first, but it gets more annoying when you realize this is the exact same gold coin currency you use.
Okay.
I mean, I kind of agree with this.
Okay. I mean, on the one hand, I agree, but on the other hand, I mean, okay, listen. If I would just want to earn the currency, I just play PvP. Because
I've literally hit the point where I'm just going for all the colors.
For leveling up your character and getting them new perks and weapons. So the same currency to increase your power also increases your customization. When you level up at the speed that you do, spending money on cosmetics will directly slow down how good your characters play. Therefore, slow down your ability to progress through the difficulties. So you have to choose, get stronger or fashion. In every game, fashion is a side upgrade to levels or something natural. You don't have to pick, so if you really want to have...
Hey, you want to know another game that does this? Monster Hunter.
Well, the fashion is the upgrade. Is like
the fashion
progression.
Yeah,
the fashion is the progression.
Yeah, but you have to sink a ton of time and resources into unlocking what do you call it? The armor skins, changing your appearance. Like you have to grind the absolute. Like you can't even start
the layered armor sets.
You can't even start getting layered armor until you hit the guiding lands. Like you can't even start working on it until then, except for like specific select holiday suits. So I mean, yeah, it's. I don't know how to tell you this. I mean, look. I think it's a little dumb that you got to use the same currency. I feel like Bricky is over criticizing it because, like, clearly the point is to level up first and then work on fashion. But at the same time, you can just play the PvP and it's like you don't. Not only do you not level up, but you don't need to unlock perks and shit in PvP.
Have the colors and scheme of certain chapters, you will fall behind your friends when it comes to power. Or you can become super powerful, but then you look like a basic bitch blueberry for the entire game. Now, some cosmetics are unlocked just from playing, specifically the armor parts, but why not just do that for all cosmetics? Why is it only the one type, and why is that locked specifically behind the class? It's a weird system, but that's not quite it. Another obvious problem is that when you earn in these co-op missions, the rewards for beating a mission are the same for them all. There is no special thing for special missions, which, if you know how gamers are, will lead them to finding the fastest possible mission and grinding only that one out because choosing quick match, aka random, does not reward you with increased.
Bricky, people do this in Darktide too, and that has the rewards you're talking about.
Yeah, you're comparing it to Darktide, which people would just only go for the quick mission. Like, Every time.
Yeah. Bricky is acting like, you know, putting in like 36 layers of different loot box shit is going to fix a problem, when that would just make it worse, honestly. Like, it's almost like people want to play. It's almost like people want to play the game for the gameplay and not the rewards, Bricky. You know? It's like,
he is absolutely right. Why fucking Europe is having to ban. Europe and China are having to ban this sort of shit.
Yeah, like Bricky is talking about this like he's completely brain rotten. Like, seriously, like he's completely brain rotted by, you know, loot boxes and loot drops and all this shit. It's like, none of this is necessary.
This brick's got my hairline retracting straight. She who thirsts coal posting. I ain't seen since my time in the gulag.
Right? Oh wait, right. He's a Destiny player. That's it. You know, let me harken back to Paul Tassi and his garbage takes about Space Marine 2. Because, you know, as a game journalist, he didn't even look into Space Marine 1. You know, I'm sorry, but when you're a journalist, everything you say everywhere needs to be scrutinized, because especially if it's in your field. And so Paul Tassi, as a video game journalist, needs to be knowledgeable about the games he plays, including the history of those games. So him playing Space Marine 2 without even looking into 40K at all, and without looking into Space Marine 1 at all, and then getting mad when the big reveal of the character at the end didn't surprise him. It's like, yeah, bro, you just showed your whole ass to the internet and how you're a shit journalist. Casual reminder, Paul Tassi got super fucking triggered about the fact there's hot women in the First Descendant.
Experience or loot, because there's no reason to do random when you can just spam the quickest one. It's in fact so obvious that when I streamed the game on the embargo date, before the public could even play, I got matched with 2 people who were already almost max level with less than a week of game time. They specifically helped carry me through the first mission, called Inferno, on the hardest difficulty because it was the easiest and rewards 4 times the experience that a regular difficulty one did.
Has joined the crusade.
Cruz Ion Blood, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the crusade. We're watching Bricky give the worst takes about Space Marine 2. Hey, remember how this was supposed to be the positive part? According to him, he's just been bitching about the co-op now for a couple minutes.
Blasting my levels up to the highest possible amount. The game was not even out yet, and people already found the best way to grind it. So while the co-op
yes, that's how games work.
PvE stuff is pretty fun.
Oh, every
game
game works.
Good merit. There is definitely issues.
Has this man never played a video game before?
Between the mixed currency and the lack of random mission rewards, it's definitely going to become a bit of a slog to get through unless it's fixed soon. Which is a very funny thing to say, because the final mode of the game, the PvP, definitely has its problems, but I have strangely different feelings about it. The PvP of this game fucking rules. It's so funny to say that the way I am saying it right now, because it's clearly unfinished and it feels extremely tacked on, but it is so much fun. When I say tacked on, I don't mean actually tacked on at the last minute. Like,
okay. He's actually kind of spitting right now, except for the whole unfinished thing. I disagree with that. Yeah. No, the PvP is fucking great in Space Marine 2. It is actually 10 out of 10 PvP experience.
The first game is
I
PvP
can agree
so
that they're only being 3 maps,
surprisingly good. And
yeah,
I imagine that this game
they could add more maps, but that's really all it needs, I think.
Was planning on PvP, clearly. But this was just a complete shock to me. I uploaded an initial feelings video to my second channel when the embargo first lifted, and my experience was mostly based around the campaign and the PvE stuff. So, like with what
the video just
above,
like
it wasn't the
on my
most
end.
glowing of reviews. But this PvP, man,
There's just something about it. The function of this is very simple. It's a 6v6 mode with 3 game modes. These are the classic takes on team deathmatch, domination, and hardpoint / king of the hill. In your team of 6, you play as either the loyalist or the heretic Astartes, and you can only have 2 of each class at a time.
I'm gonna be honest, guys.
So
I'm gonna be honest, guys. To see if any more shit takes that we really need to scream at.
Me and Boobs had to go through the whole thing. You do too.
Not really.
I
mean, the rest is literally just about PvP. He does kind of complain about
the. He says is never mind. Actually,
he
complained about freaking classes, but then went like they're actually countered by this. It's like
probably doesn't.
Rainbow, you don't have to.
No,
I
am so unbelievably done with this. This is I'm actually have a headache now having watched this. I'm just, oh my.
I think the only thing he said was that he wishes he could customize the start days, but that was the only thing.
Ash is hitting me with potatoes, if you're wondering what that. Y'all don't know about the secret potato language me and Ash have. Thank you, honey.
You cute.
But oh my god, just what the actual fuck was that review? What the actual fuck was that?
Bad.
I mean, yeah, it's
not
like
good.
And you know the worst part was when people obviously told him he was wrong. He fell back on the whole. Well, it started a conversation, guys. Thing on Twitter.
We were already having this conversation with our own friends in our own Discords. And
yeah,
you just had to put your opinion out there, which kind of fucking sucked.
Yeah, it's like Bricky. Look. I'm gonna say this: the game is good. You're wrong. Take the L. That's all I got to say to that. This is such unbelievably flagrant ignorance in this video. It is just I know sometimes I might seem like going the whole like, oh, I can't with this. I literally can't with this. Like it's just so.
It is very dumb.
Yeah, it is just. I feel myself getting dumber listening to Bricky. Like I feel my brain cells dying, my IQ dropping rapidly. It's just, oh my. And this is everyone's self-appointed, and it's not even just the fact he gets the game shit wrong. He gets fundamental lore shit wrong. He really has no right to misunderstand because he's read the stuff that tells him he's wrong. And he misses basic details of the story, straight up like cutscene skipping ass motherfucker. Just I'm closing the fucking thing. I am 500% done with this. Boobs, that was fucking painful. Why'd you suggest this? Why do you do, Boobs? Why do you do? Primarily to me. What? Oh my god. I exit Discord.
He's back.
I exit Discord.
You exited out of everything.
My brain is so frazzled.
It's kind of Amjor issue because he has gotten so many people into the lore through
5 hours. Good job, buddy.
Videos.
5 hours. Shit.
But nah, man. Listen. My brain is so frazzled by that review that I hit disconnect from Discord instead of like shut the stream down. That's where I'm at. That's where we're at right now.
Bro, look. I'm gonna say this. The review is bad, and now Bo, now you could properly critique it on Twitter. A week after everything ended about it.
No. I already did. No, I knew from you guys like the basics of what like he got wrong. So no, I was talking about it as it was happening. But to actually watch it is is an entirely different thing. Like
so bad. It's
like a car crash you can't look away from.
Yeah,
it's like
how
okay,
many times
sure.
Did he double back and contradict himself throughout the entire thing?
I couldn't. No, I could.
5 minutes.
Look, you know me. I got this calcula. I could barely count to 5. Okay,
Listen, I counted all the Salomos in Zack Snyder. There's
Please don't.
Rogue
Not again.
Okay.
Not even I can count the contradictions here.
Okay, but Psyche, you've got that special kind of autism that lets you do that. I don't.
No, what it is Psyche is from China. He lies about being an Indian, but he's really from China.
It's literally.
That's why he's so good
whiter
with
than
math.
your ass is.
No.
Anyway, guys, I need to go listen to a 40K audiobook or something after that shit because that was just awful.
Hey, Bo.
What?
You could go listen.
Is it gonna be Horus Rising?
No. Oh no, you know what? I finished fucking Honored Guard recently. I'm gonna take a break from Gaunt's Ghost and listen to Rince World.
Hell yeah, baby.
CDR Nonsense has joined the Crusade.
Hey, CDR Nonsense, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Crusade. All right, you know what? I'm gonna actually hold on. Nobody leave. I want to raid someone.
Akko is streaming.
Akko is streaming. All right, hold on. Let me check the homies and see who's streaming. Actually, Is your I raided Akko before. I'm gonna raid Kyo this time. She's playing Gundam Breaker 4. So hold on. Raid Kiyomi. Hold on.
You fucking love Mecha.
Yes. Did I spell it right? All right. Y'all, I'm sending y'all to watch Kyo. She's playing Gundam Breaker 4 right now. I will be back tomorrow with more Battletech, where we're going to be starting the main campaign. So, yeah, I will see y'all then. Take care, everyone, and have a good day.
Laters all.
Laters.
You're all of you.